But however, with how aggressively we saw Sushil pushing
Yeah.
in, uh, he's basically trying to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to let you collect that elixir. Uh,
True.
I am going to stop that elixir collection right away. And you notice he threw everything that he had. The miner went in, even though miner died and got pulled away and
Yeah.
activated the king tower, he immediately threw down the poison. He was very, very committed. I think he was a little over committed because instead of a positive elixir, he was down elixir.
Yeah.
And what's it called? And this was the reason why we saw such aggression. And normally you want to take advantage of an elixir collector being dropped so early,
Yeah.
because if you don't pressure, then this is an elixir lead that's being pushed
True.
in.
Like when I see an elixir collector drop on the map, I send my hog. Like I just know that he's just wasted 6 elixir, and I'm
Yes.
going to make the most out of it. I also like the way he's played this bandit card in a more defensive way than an aggressive way, which has kind of worked in his favor. So
Yeah.
she really just played a very defensive, and that kind of is working in this whole game's favor. I hope he is able to come back much stronger. But for now, we're just going to head into a short break, and we'll be back really, really soon.
We had a small hiccup with the internet here, which just decided to zonk off randomly. We will be officially filing a complaint against the internet people.
Yes.
However, till then, we have exciting Clash Royale games to take care of, and Bandit finally going down. That Bandit has been pretty good at holding off that push. And Andy, what you need to notice how well these guys place these cards. See
True.
how well that Ice Spirit was placed to distract. Not only move the prince in the other direction, but then
Yeah.
also freezing him at the same time. And again, another show of how to place the cards.
This is
Both
just
of these
brilliant.
cards.
This is just brilliant.
He's been throwing these cards so perfectly that Prashant is actually having a hard time attacking his tower. And now this is going to be a big push, which Abhi has to deal with somehow. And the prince will not be able to charge, but will get few hits off on the Electro Wizard. But look at that. He's able to defend that the tower, the push, everything. Nothing went through. And this is great defense here.
I just love the way Sushil is defending as of now, but it also makes me a little worried that when is he going to get the chance to attack, because the push coming in from Prashant is so strong that it's not really giving time for Sushil to really push ahead.
And so consistent also. You've seen PP actually non-stop dropping the cards right on the bridge. He's not stopping. He's not letting his opponent breathe. He's like, you know, you can defend so well. I'll test your defense. I'll test
True.
your wall. And he's been dropping units non-stop. Finally, actually deciding after that huge commitment, he finally decides to push, throw a unit in the back. He wants to build up a push. And Abhi reacts by dropping a unit on the other side. And this is going to be pretty make or break right here, and we're going to see Abhi now attempt to stop this push one more time. Great Ice Spirit, by the way, great Ice Spirit. Poison also dropped down. He actually used an offensive Nado there. He actually used offensive Nado to bring the unit close to him so he could kill him. So the Electro Wizard was out of range, and PP drops a tornado to bring him close to him so he can punch him in the face. He's like, come to me, punch in the face. And that is how Prashant actually was able to take down his opponent. He just kept at it. He non-stop
He's
push,
just
push,
not
push.
stopping, and I think Sushil gotta like maybe just change one card, maybe to make sure that he has an option available for him to kind of push ahead. Otherwise, he's just always going to. I think he needs an Alexa collector more than anything else.
No, well, actually, the Sushil has a very simple win condition. He wanted to get the minor chip going,
Yeah.
but with so many units knocking at the door, there's no way you're going to be thinking of dropping a minor, a 3 elixir somewhere else. You need to defend, and that's where PP kind of went ahead and tested his opponent's will. And he kept at it and finally broke down Sushil's defense and was able to get that game. This is 1-1 is the score now. So we're going into game 3 of this best of 5. We've seen few exciting units like the threat card of Balloon. Balloon is something that you don't want to ignore at any time. It's an annoying unit that you have to absolutely deal with.
I like how he's taken an Inferno Dragon. So Prashant is going to be a little safe if he doesn't play that Inferno Dragon until the balloon comes. But I also like the new add-on on his card list. He's added the Magical Archer and the Dark Witch.
Yeah, and the win condition here for PP is straightforward. What you see on the left is his win condition, but Abhi has the right answer for it. He has the zap. He also has the Inferno Dragon to. He exactly zapped the Inferno Dragon. That's exactly what he needed to do, and that's a lot of units right now for Prashant to deal with. Will lose his Inferno Dragon. Both the guys playing very well. Abhi, however, was able to stop that push.
True, and I think he defended this very well, and now he's just got to wait for a right time balloon. I'm thinking he's using his P.E.K.K.A as more of just a defense than an offense, because he knows the giant is totally unmatched as of now. But he's kept the balloon on standby. If he gets the opening, he's going to charge that balloon.
Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. He's now put a balloon on the right-hand side, and now he needs to force a reaction out of his opponent, which right now he doesn't have a lot of. He does have a zap. He props a miner also. and they finally get a big, huge hit on the tower, and the miner is still alive, and Inferno Dragon actually chooses to walk away. He's like, I am getting out of here, guys. I have other important things to do. Bringing the tower down to a fairly low health. Inferno Dragon will lock on to the tower there. He will need to zap it, exactly. As I said it, he zaps it away.
Unfortunate.
Yes. However, still losing that tower completely.
I think we'll have both the crowns fallen for now, and we do see that Abhi for now going to secure his tower too for his size. It's a very interesting fight over here. I mean, both of them are going pretty much battle on here.
And this is his complete push, by the way. This is his exact complete push. He puts a giant up front, poisons Inferno Dragon. This is his whole push. That this is what the game is all about. And Abhi again lost a lot of health on the tower there, and he's gonna call it good game because that's 162 health left on his tower, and he knows he's gonna lose it with another poison being dropped down any point now. So not sure why he's waiting that extra minute. What is going on? Did he? Okay, yes, he did miss. He oopsed out of this game, and the tower is still alive, which I think Abhi should. I don't want to say it, Abhi should. I'm just saying like he should just give up right now, but still choosing to go on the offensive. The balloon is out. This game is looking very interesting. He needs to put the poison down immediately. Yes, he finally drops the poison, bringing that tower down on the left. Unnecessarily close game.
Yeah.
PP had fairly good control over this game. Made that small mistake at the end. However, still makes up for it, because if that balloon would have got another hit on that tower, it would have been game over for him.
Definitely. And another thing that even at the beginning when he lost his right tower, Sushil, if he had something else to go against that Inferno other than those bats, I think he would have been able to win this game. But another maybe flying defense, maybe a flying machine guard, a baby dragon or something, because bats nowadays they get countered so easily with the zap.
Yes.
That I think it was just unfortunate. He lost his whole tower with just one dragon. So
yes. That was something actually. Production connected me there. Was the fact that it was not Abhi's. Abhi actually didn't use a zap on that Inferno Dragon. He did not have a zap in his rotation. And I was saying, without even looking at the card, I was like, hey, he should have a zap for that Inferno Dragon.
Yeah.
He didn't, and hence he lost that tower. And I think that pretty much lost him the game.
True.
Losing that tower was quite a sad thing for him, and his heart just could not recover.
I mean, I would be really upset to lose just because of one big card.
Yeah, just because he didn't have the zap. And I think he had used zap offensively in the previous push, so did not have the zap to stop that Inferno Dragon from offloading. A big rocket coming right off the bat takes out that threat unit of an executioner. So very well placed rocket there. That does require a little bit of precision, by the way, that you definitely don't want to miss that rocket, because the AoE of that rocket is fairly small compared to the other spells that we have in this game.
True.
The AoE on the rocket is very small. We see a Hog Rider coming through and immediately activating King Tower. So Prashant seems very confident going into this game, by the way. And Abhi is basically running a low elixir deck where he wants to quickly do a lot of damage to his opponent. But after losing that, after activating the King Tower, this is going to be very, very difficult for him. And also, let's not forget, Prashant has a rocket at the end, and Prashant is running the double knight build. I want to see Abhi double prince build with the giant. I want to see Abhi actually defend this push. I want to see how he's planning to defend against this push. And because this is still not double elixir time, and there's going to be very heavy units coming in from Prashant's side to Abhi's side. So I'm very much interested in seeing how he's planning to close this game. Will we see another NATO? Yes, we did. And look at that. This is what the cool thing about the NATO and the baby dragon is. You pull them all together, do splash damage, just close it. Okay, good. Very well placed. Very well placed.
My worry in both the games, I mean the first and the fourth, is that I don't think Abhi has enough aggressive push coming in from him. Apart from just one card, he seems to be so worried about his defense that I'm not seeing that much of aggression, and that's where I think Prashant is even getting the confidence to keep going aggressive, because he doesn't have to really defend anything.
If you strictly talk about what the primary win condition here for Abhi is, it's the Hog Rider.
Yeah.
However, whenever he's thrown the Hog Rider, there has been a Nado just kind of pushing him away. He's not able to get any chip damage. Look at that. Again, over and over again, we're seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
And his primary win condition is failing. His secondary win condition, he has the Fireball, which he can throw and bring the tower down. However, remember, it's there to assist the initial primary
And
win,
he's not getting
not he's not going to fireball his opponent down to 0 health. That's going to take
That's true.
forever. And on top of that, let's not forget that so much defense that he needs to do. Again, pulled close to the Mega Minion there to take down that unit. Very well done. And I think Abhi is in a lot of trouble, and he's going to potentially lose this game. And it's going to be a 3-1 score for PP.
Astounding to see how Sushil is so precise with his drops and is only lacking a little bit of aggression to kind of finish the game for him. For now, we do see a very nice push coming there from the Hog, but he's just getting pulled back. Meanwhile, the Giant is going to just keep walking towards the tower. MVP Executioner going to be dropped down again. I think the Executioner card is just being played so well by Abhi as of now.
Interesting bit to note right now, look at the damage on the left hand tower compared to what Abhi is facing. Abhi still has more health on his towers compared to his opponent.
True.
So even though the Hog Rider it's working out for him.
Yeah,
right
it
now.
is working out.
And
Slowly but
I
surely.
think this all just will come down to the fact. And notice how the Giant was dropped on the left, and on the right the Hog Rider is immediately dropped.
Yeah.
Because he wants to get the Prince on the other side. He doesn't want a big push being built on the left-hand side. And now, Abhi, PP actually opting for a big push on the right-hand side also. This could spell doom for him. Oh, very nice Nado, bringing them all together. But there's no Executioner stopping this push. And there's 2 Giants on the... I think this is game over. I would like for it to see this push stopped. I don't see any reason how this push is going to be stopped, because both these units are targeting the tower on the right and the big push on the left.
Wow.
This is good game. Very well played by PP there, and I loved how he moved his aggression on both sides
Yeah.
to clear out his opponent, because he was just having a lot of trouble. The moment he saw the Giant being placed on one side, a Hog Rider push was coming on the right,
Yeah.
and the reason for this was so he's not able to build his big push, which is the Giant and the double Prince right
Yeah.
behind it. And then he had a baby dragon also. So the Giant goes down, immediately bottom right, you see the Hog Rider coming in. Now PP has to deal with this situation, but he has a great card to deal with it. He just
Yeah.
needs one Nado to pull that Hog Rider either towards the King Tower or towards the middle, so both the Princess Tower can target the Hog Rider down. So great play by both of them, by the way. I don't want to say Abhi was able to survive this game for quite some time. He was doing the chip damage, and he had to keep that going. But the Nado single-handedly cost him that game, because the King Tower is activated. That's a lot of
Yeah.
DPS, by the way, on the defensive end.
True.
Any unit that's made it to the tower is now taking double damage. It's like a double damage rune from
Yeah.
Dota 2. It just both of them are great players, and we get to see that. And it's just, I don't want to say one player is worse than the other one, or one is better than the other one.
They just have different play styles.
Yes, they have different play styles, and we got to see good Clash Royale today, and that's the main thing. And me as a caster or the analyzer of the game, I get to learn a lot. I get to see how these big pushes are stopped by these great players of Indian Clash Royale. I would have to say, because of that slight delay that we had due to the internet disconnection, we need to quickly move on to the next game, which is Counter-Strike.
Definitely.
So we'll take a small break, unless you have
Definitely.
something to talk about.
With that, we come to an end to Clash Royale for the day. But don't go anywhere, folks. Coming up very shortly is one of your favorite games, Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with a machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset,
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership Master League Summer Season. I'm joined today by Gautam Workaholic. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. I'm actually first time on the desk today,
Yeah.
and I can't figure out how to put my hands.
Oh,
Should
you'll
I
just
put
get
them
used to
here,
it after a
or
while.
should I
You
go
can
like
just
this?
check out.
Should I go like that?
Yeah.
You know, I don't
I
quite
just
know.
sit like this.
Okay.
Control of hand movement.
Quite interesting. We have Counter-Strike.
Yes. So
Counter-Strike
heading
coming up.
into game 2 of today, it's going to be Counter-Strike Global Offensive. We have some amazing folks playing here today. They'll be struggling a little bit, but let's first give them faces. It's going to be ATE Gaming as the first contender. A very well-renowned team over there from the former past, ATE Gaming. And going up against them today, we have another team that is struggling quite a bit, sitting on the 12th spot. Let's introduce War. All right, so it's going to be ATE Gaming versus War. Gotham, I want to hear whatever you know about these teams and how do you think they have been up
Well,
to in the
the
past
thing
18
is,
days.
I'm not going to claim to know a lot about Counter-Strike,
Yeah.
but I've been hosting Counter-Strike events for a long, long time. I have a lot of experience under my belt.
Yeah.
Uh, and AT brings a lot of history coming into this. It's a team that's been newly formed after quite a lot of years, and Sagar Vyas is actually heading that team there. So I want to wish them good luck. They have a lot of baggage on their shoulders. You know, they have a huge name that's backing them,
True.
and that in itself is a lot of pressure. I would feel that if these guys would have came up with a new name, a new identity, they could have
Yeah.
established themselves in a different way. Now you have a team like ATE that's backing you. That's a lot of pressure on these guys. And if you look at the names there, and that's the reason why we have veterans like Ritz actually playing there,
Yeah.
and Kappa is playing there. Krish has been playing for a long time. Buster and Hellfighter. These collective group of people bring that history to be in that brand ATE.
Yeah.
So and it's a well balanced squad, I would have to say, and a big name to live up to. And on the other hand, we have Wargaming, which is not doing so well. Even ATE right now is not doing so well.
Yeah,
We've seen the graph. We can maybe have it
Yeah,
come
the
up on the
stand
screen
needs
right
to be
away.
up. They've
And
played
there we
about
go.
5 games till now, and
And we
Yeah,
can see
true.
War is actually sitting on 11th position. They have lost 5 of the games they played.
Yeah.
So out of the 6, interesting. Information I want to add again. These teams are not bad teams. These are great teams. We actually saw Vakband, which is on number 12, actually almost take a game off
Yeah.
Entity Gaming, which was surprising by itself. Like, how did that happen? How did Entity come into a position where they've been threatened by a Vakband at that position? And hence it proves the fact that all these teams are great teams.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're sitting there. Right. Of course, there's some difference between the top 4 compared to the bottom 4, and hence the relegation process is there. But these teams are great teams. These are the best teams that India has to offer at the
Definitely.
moment, and have to. And sorry, Pakistan is also there. So the best of. I would love to see more teams coming out of Pakistan
Yeah.
and Bangladesh, and I would wish them luck to get good visas on time. So which is gonna be quite interesting challenge
Yeah.
for us also. But we have, I believe, the Veto is gonna come up now.
Yes,
So
and the video is up and ready. We're gonna have Train and Nuke and Inferno getting banned there by War, and meanwhile Mirage, Overpass, and Cash getting banned there by AT. Wow, this is the first time I've actually done the video for Counter Strike. But Cobblestone, you played on this map before?
No, I'm a diehard Dust 2.
Dust 2 map.
Yes, if you take my blood, it'll just be Dust 2 coming out of it.
That's the
But
only map even I played, to be
the,
very
th-
frank.
this is I would absolutely agree with what Adi said earlier, was the fact that Dust 2 is the India map basically.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love Dust 2, and that's the only map I've played, actually, telling you the truth.
But everybody hates the Cobblestone map.
To the
I
point
mean.
that Valve is actually going to
Yeah.
kick the map out of the map pool.
True.
So coming next week, this Cobblestone will not be part of the map pool, and Dust 2 will be back, so which is something to be excited about.
At least we'll get to see the map one last time. And talking about seeing the map one last time, like, let's have a look at Cobblestone.
Cobblestone. A map despised by Adi, our resident CSGO analyst. This peculiar map with its high walls and massive doors has one major choke point, the drop zone. If the terrorists secure this area, the counter-terrorists have next to no chance of taking the round.
Alright, so that is Cobblestone, and I think one of the reasons it's not a favored map anymore is because it's very favored, terrorist favored. I wouldn't know. As a matter of fact, it looks pretty big to me.
Yeah, and it is a huge map actually. For the CT side to be able to rotate from A plant to B plant, it is quite a long walk
Yeah.
compared to other maps where they can quickly rotate back to defend the
True.
bomb sites. So T's actually, if they commit to one side, let's just talk about the simple fact. Okay, we're not Counter-Strike pros at the end of the day. if you have 2 people on one side and 3 on the other side, for the 3 people to rotate to defend the 2 side, or the 2 people to rotate to defend the 3 side, it's just a longer route.
Yeah.
And Cobblestone hence is very T favored, because if a T commits on one side, whether it be 4 or 5 people going on one side, it just becomes very difficult to hold.
Correct.
So, but I don't think we have much to add to Counter-Strike,
Yeah.
and I think these 2 great teams will actually be showing us the action today. So why don't we get into that game right away?
Alright, maybe this is the last time you guys will see Cobblestone, and maybe the last time our casters are going to be casting Cobblestone for us in the ESL India Premiership. So let's quickly introduce our casters. We have Ranjit Mamba Patel and Fet, who are going to be taking this game for y'all. So go ahead, boys, enjoy your last cast at Cobblestone.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL India Premiership, the Masters Division. We are well underway with the summer season, and today's game is going to be between War and ATE Gaming on the map Cobblestone. Joining me, as always, is the peanut butter to my jelly, the thepla to my kanda. I'm messing that up.
You said it the other way around, but yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
The kanda to my
mamba,
thepla.
there we go. My Gujarati
Oh, boy.
foodie habits ain't very strong. Anyway, we're going to be on Cobblestone. This map was taken out of the map pool in the recent update, so hoping that this is the last time I get to see this map, and it's going to be a fast-ish B execute. 2 smokes coming out, all 5 terrorists just biding their time towards long. It's going to be, you know, a difficult task for Kazi, and Hellfight are going to be pushing through the smoke. Gets Baba the Beast. Kazi spots out a couple of players, but can't really land the shot, and Ritz is just killing everybody. Saz finds a player, but Finish, in the blink of an eye, finds himself in a 1v4, and the T's are chomping at the bits. They don't want to give any quarters to Finish, and Finish is going to get spotted out. They know exactly where he is, and Ritz will finish things up with a juicy 3k. Good start for him, and ATE win that pistol round with the utmost of ease. Like, it's not even funny how easy that seemed for ATE Gaming. War just looked completely out of their depth. That retake setup towards the B bomb site not paying any dividends. And now 2 players seem to have been literally deleted off the server.
And well, it was quite an amazing round, to be very honest. And 2 players from both the sides. Well, alright. So I'm not quite sure if they're playing from the same area, because I'm fairly certain they would not be playing from the same cafe, because it doesn't make sense. And yeah, I think it's probably the same internet connection that went down. But Hellfire wants to play 3v3. A and mid only. These guys. Alright, so I mean, the first one was quite interesting, right? Because I've seen a similar strat back in the day when I was playing with Simplex. Just a little modification. We didn't have 2 smokes. We only had 1 smoke towards the walkway. But one thing that I really liked from AT Gaming was that they boosted up 3 players towards tree, and CTs had absolutely no idea that they were getting boosted up top right there. And this could have worked out in their favor as well, in the CT's favor. But they did not have any control towards chicken coop or towards B long, and well, they got decimated by AT Gaming. So a really good round. I really like the newer setup. Yeah. And the way they try to approach the round as well. So that just goes on to show that they have been working hard in the game, and they have been trying to do something. But again, I think they'll be a little upset as well, because Cobblestone just got taken out of the active duty map pool, and this is probably the last season that we'll see Cobblestone for a very, very long time. And them, AT Gaming going in and trying out new strats and thinking of new things on this map. It's just gonna be a little too unfortunate for them.
Yeah, I mean, I see the moment I saw that post saying that Cobblestone is being taken out of the map pool, I knew that there is a god, and that god does indeed exist. Because I mean, it's no secret, both Adi and I despise this map. It is too T-sided. It's not balanced. It's just not fun to. I don't know. I don't have fun playing on it. I don't like casting it either. It's just very. It's a very good watch, and obviously people will be disappointed now. They won't be able to get that fabled Dragon Lore drop on Cobblestone, but thank God this map's got done for. It needs a rework, and I'm just happy Dust 2 is back. Not because national map and all that, but it'll call for some interesting plays. The new Dust 2, while being quite similar to the old one, it's different enough to warrant quite a few different strategies, and I for one am interested to see what the teams bring up. Anyway, it looks like Kappa is gonna be, well, Ritz is gonna be dying. It's still gonna be man advantage to the CTs, and this is yet another instance of where a team on the eco has the man advantage as compared to the team with the guns. And I've been saying this consistently.
Ooh, what a shot from Finish. Taking him down to 23 points of health. That was a really good one tap. And Ryder is going to go down as well. Finish trying to find the second one. He is going to get taken down by Kappa. And Kappa taking a lot of damage as well. So around 25 points of health. And this is going to be reduced to a 2v2 now. Baba has the Mac 10 to work. Only 27 points of health though. I think you should probably switch it up. But it's going to be a little hard because Baba is towards B long and Kazi inside drop zone. And they should probably wait it out because the C4 has not been planted yet. It's finally going to get planted. And Baba has been spotted. So Deathmaker will have to make sure he covers both the angles. And Kazi is going to get spotted again, connecting headshot. What is even going on? The flashbang is going to get thrown out towards B long. Baba is going to avoid it, and Deathmaker just waiting out. Kappa find the frag onto Kazi. Deathmaker almost being taken down right there. So Ryan on 7 points of health and is going to find the frag onto Baba. And that was a pretty impressive round. And Kappa getting a quad kill though in the anti-eco. But that one tap onto Ryder from the bombs that was pretty juicy. And you know, it was a really close round. They did a lot of economic damage, and if they can go in for the P250s and maybe take 2 or 3 players down in this round as well, the economy on the Terry side is going to be a little crunchy, and CTs might actually be able to pull off a few rounds and, you know, destroy the economy as well. But they are going to go in for a complete eco. Only one guy, actually 2 guys buying P250s. On the Terry side though, on the other hand, we have 3 Mac 10s, 2 AK-47s, quite a few resources, and this is what we call D5 grid, right? Back in the day, Destructive 5 just used to go into a B-long, and Ritz almost being taken down right there is going to go down to Kazi. Actually, Finish is going to find the frag onto him, and Oops trying to find the frag onto Kappa is going to get taken down to 40 points of health, and just waiting down towards B-long. Now, this could go in the favor of the CT side if the Terry side does not play this properly, but Finish is going to get taken down by Hellfighter's nade, and Kappa. It's going to be creeping in. He's going to try and find a few shots, but well, Kazi is going to go down. It's going to be Baba falling as well, and Saz is going to get destroyed by Kappa, and that's going to be the 3rd round coming out for AT Gaming. So almost, you know, losing out on that round, making a few mistakes, trying to go and try, which is okay. I mean, because the CTs would be on an eco, but try and, you know, closing on the distance, have the trade potential as well, and with the flashes coming towards B-long, because that's one of the things you can do on an anti-eco or on a complete eco when you know that the opposition is not going to have a lot of things to work with. But in the meantime, we have Ritz with the op and Saz on the ZD side with the op. So it's going to be interesting to see, because Kazi has went in for the FAMAS, trying to go in for the resources, and Baba only going for the smoke. So this is going to be quite interesting, because Saz, I think, is going to be playing triangle from what it looks like, and Kazi just falling back. So, well, it's going to be interesting to see how it actually pans out.
Yeah, and Saz marking B-long. I mean, it's not a very standard position from now he's taking the op to a more, you know, standard position from where usually oppers play. But I like what AT is doing this. They've played a very fast game the previous round. Now they're just slowing things up. Ritz just inching slowly, ever so slowly up A-long, trying to work that first pick. And Baba the Beast needs to be careful. There is an op trained on the A-long entry point. So if Baba gets a bit too over ambitious, he's going to end up paying for it with his life. In the meantime, Oops just jiggle peeking towards mid. He's going to avoid that nade. It's not really going to trouble him. But ATE, definitely a much more measured setup. Saz with the AWP towards the B statue, platform, bomb site, whatever you call it. He's going to have to go huge. Kappa needs to be careful. Oh, how on earth did he miss and that? I think he's consistently clipping Kappa through the... there we go. Finish to finish him off. That was a bit unfortunate there for Saz. He clipped him twice through the scaffolding there, taking a lot of damage off. But it looks like, in the meantime, Ritz has managed to get a lot of map control over towards the A-long side of things. And it's going to come down to... Oops! He's going to almost line 2 players up. Does a lot of damage. But Deathmaker and Ryder end up doing more damage in return. Now it's 2v3. Baba the Beast versus and Saz have to hold down the fort towards the A-bomb side. And as I say that, Saz bites the dust. And Hellfighter, again, this man, where did they find Hellfighter? I mean, this guy has been such a revelation for ATE ever since he's joined the lineup. He's been the most consistent player, almost always top fragging or second top fragging. Hellfighter used to play for JMD last season, if I'm not mistaken. Both Deathmaker and Hellfighter making their way over from the old JMD lineup. And so very consistent, I have to say. I think Hellfighter is the youngest player in the team as well, 19 years old. He's from Silchar, right?
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Yes.
And Hellfighter, I've seen him play on G outfits as well a couple of years back, if I'm right. If my memory is not a little hazy about it. So I've seen this guy play in different teams. You mentioned GMD as well, and he has been growing consistently. He wasn't that impressive on G outfits. He was above average, but seeing him play on AT, I think it's the experience as well that he has been soaking in, which has been coming out from, or I'd say oozing out from Kappa and Ritz, because these guys have been around for, I don't know what, 12 to 15 years, and they've seen so much Counter-Strike. They've played so much Counter-Strike, and I think Hellfighter is doing an amazing job soaking it all up, combining it with the fact that his reflexes are on point, his aim is as sharp as it could ever be. But again, 4 players from the server timing out. Now this is something that has been plaguing our tournament since the beginning of the summer season finale. And not the finale, since the beginning of the summer season. But yeah, the players are going to connect back in because they are probably on the same network. And talking about it, it's quite unfortunate, but AT Gaming winning the first 4 rounds, the first gun round as well being won by AT. Now War have to figure out where they are going wrong, because they do have a decent amount of cash to force it up if they please, and if they want to use a shotgun towards the creek and inside drop zone as well. But this is going to be a little hard, right? Because in a knowing when the opposition is going to be on a force-ish buy, they could probably come into as long as well. So this round is going to be a little complicated for War. I'm not quite sure if they'll go in for that gamble play, just rushing one side or just stacking one side up, because right now being divided doesn't really make sense to me.
No, it doesn't actually. It makes more sense on... So, see, given the current economic situation, you're right. Most likely going to be an armor pistol buy-up from War, or if not, it's going to be a hard eco. Last time they went hard eco, that was on the 3rd round. They stacked towards the B bomb site, and they got... They pulled the round very, very close. So stacking a particular bomb site does make sense. It's just going to be upgraded pistols from the looks of it. Oops, buying up that Deagle. Everyone else picking up the P250. Kazi going in for the armor buy as well. He doesn't want to leave anything to chance. He wants to make himself as tanky as possible while spending as little money as possible. So it does make sense to stack towards a particular bomb site, and it looks like it is going to be a stack towards B. And AT have preferred the fast B hit, and look at Baba the Beast. He's already up and at him. They're going to push B long, but not really working out. Ryder picks up the kill with the AWP. Ryder marking so close, but Kazi going to swing out wide. He can get another kill onto Hellfighter, but he's going to survive on 20 HP. Oops, in the meantime, brings the hand cannon over towards the stairs, and Saz picks up one kill. Oh, Ryder gets taken down. The tag team of Saz and Oops, but now it's all down to Saz. He's recovered the AK-47, doesn't have armor. He's getting a shoulder peek, and Ritz is going to take full advantage of that aim punch coming in, and Saz is going to bite the dust. ATE, they're playing a very dangerous game on these anti-ecos. They're not really utilizing all the grenades at their disposal, and they're going to pay for it at some point or another. Baba the Beast buys up the MP9 with $1,500 left in the kitty. That is interesting. I mean,
no, that's very interesting, to be very honest. And in the last one, I was quite surprised that we didn't see Nova coming into the picture, because it's $1,200, right? It's a very cheap shotgun, and it's pretty damn impressive and pretty efficient as well. So I'm really surprised that we've never seen Nova come into the picture, especially on Cobblestone. And in an economy like this, I think it would have been a better choice playing that close angle. But nonetheless, getting back to this round, Baba is going to be playing inside drop zone now. I'm still quite confused about the buy though. MP9, if he feels comfortable, it's fine, but the only place he'll be able to use it, possibly is going to be drop zone. He's going to find the headshot, as I say it. Deathmaker is going to get destroyed by that MP9. He's going to fall back, and this is something that just surprises me right now. And I think Kazi wants to call in a stop. All right, well, War has called in a stop. I'm not quite sure why though, because they do have the numbers advantage, and well, the round is going to get restarted. But according to the rules, the frags have been exchanged and the round cannot be restarted right now. So I think they'll just go on with it, and War will probably pick this round up as well. It's going to be Kazi and finish in a 2v2. But alright. Ritz offering to replay this round because they were to a 2-man deficit. But I'm still quite surprised at the fact that War, alright, they're going to replay this round now. I'm not sure if this was just sportsman spirit or Kazi was just afraid of the fact that most of his players would time out.
I mean, there's 2 players from each team that have dropped from the server. Internet issues. I mean, ever since I've started casting Indian CS, I've realized how horrible the internet can be. It is a really unforgiving mistress here in the subcontinent in general. Like teams from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India. all suffer the same woes. It's just poor internet, stability, pings, routing, all that good stuff that, you know, most other countries take for granted. It's a daily struggle for gamers from this part of the world. And yes, it is a prime factor in what has held back the scene for so many years. And I was hoping, you know, a man can dream, a man can hope that that shit gets sorted out. But unfortunately, it's still a little ways away, I guess. But so far, from what we've seen in the game, War are looking a bit out of their element on the CT side, and ATE, they haven't really done much in terms of strats or executes. They have that fast execute for the B bomb side where they just throw in those 2 smokes and go gung-ho towards B long, or maybe even split it with 3 players going long, 2 players going drop. Otherwise, it's been a fairly standard affair. War, on the other hand, they've been favoring this retakey setup towards the B bomb side. They're not really committing much towards either bomb side. Like, not having people in chicken coop is somewhat of a questionable decision. And again, Baba the Beast buying up that MP9. Yes, we saw him wield it to great effect in the drop area, but as Mamba pointed out, a Swag 7, a Mag 7 or an XM can be equally devastating. The auto shotty, that is, in the drop area can be equally devastating. And the MP9 with its low damage against armored opponents, yes, it has a crazy high fire rate, but if you don't know how to use it properly, it can be your downfall. Let's see if Lightning strikes twice and Baba the Beast can get the opening pick once again with the MP9. The round is going to get restarted. We are going to go live. It is 5-0 in favor of ATE Gaming, and it looks like they're going to favor the slow, methodical approach towards the B bomb side. I just want to see what Baba does with the MP9.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I'm fairly certain you heard him up top towards drop zone, but it's going to be Saz who's going to go down to Hellfighter, and they are going to get the opening frag. And Hellfighter has already made his way towards door, towards mid. Deathmaker just coming around the corner, trying to peek. Is he going to get taken down? Nope, that is not going to happen this time around. Deathmaker is going to find the headshot onto Baba, and it's going to be Finish coming in, trying to find the refrag. But oops, it's going to be in a really awkward spot. No trading potential for him, and just waiting it out. Playing a really aggressive angle with a gun which has really low rate of fire. But, well, that's something that's going to happen. Oops, he's going to find the first flag. He's going to get traded out really quickly, and Deathmaker getting the headshot onto Finish. It's going to be Kazi all alone, and he's going to get spotted. And this was a really good peek coming from Deathmaker. And this guy has been blowing me away ever since I've started to see him play this season. And it's not just his aim, right? It's just not his aim. It's his decision making. It's his thinking. That shoulder peek on the last guy, that was so devastating for the CD because he could not get the frag. He gave away his position. He was in that cooldown period of that recall, right? Because if you fire a few shots, there is a cooldown period. If you don't control your recall, you have to wait for a while, and he peeks out at the most perfect time and gets a frag.
I mean, mechanically very gifted player. You're absolutely right there, Mamba. And what is worrying me right now about War's setups is that they're really not able to get any momentum going and or get any advantage early on into the rounds. The ATE just bullying them everywhere. Look at that. Like, they're trying to get the peaks in, but Deathmaker is just like, nah fam, I'm gonna kill all of you. He gets 2 opening picks, does get taken down, but he's done his job. Now it's only Oops to hold down the fort towards the bomb side. Pulls out the Deagle, but Kappa to the rescue. The Hellfighter surviving on 10 HP. And now Saz, all he can do is just chill out in the hut area and just hope that a frag comes his way. But the discipline that I'm seeing from ATE right now, they look like a completely different team. They look disjointed towards the beginning of the season, but clearly they've put in the hard work, they've put in the time, and now they look like a well-oiled, well-disciplined unit. And they're playing like that. They're just dismantling War round after round. And they're also having some fun. Look at that. Hellfighter and Blitz.
Alright.
There you go.
Alright.
Just for the shits and giggles, Mamba. For the shits and giggles.
Oh boy, I think that was just for the sake of the stream, I'm presuming. But it's gonna be Saz who's gonna get taken down by Kappa, and 7-0. AT Gaming is gonna be leading the scorecard, and this looks like a very one-sided affair, like, you know, typical Indian males. But it's just been very dominating. Deathmaker is gonna go in for the Mac 10, the CTs again. Baba again going in for the MP9. And I'm not quite sure why is he doing this. I mean, you got the first frag, you got the opening frag, and it's understandable, fine, you're getting those picks. I mean, if you really want to play drop zone, if you're so afraid about the fact that, you know, you're not going to hit that one-shot headshot, just use an AUG, it's a one-tap headshot.
mean, there's a lot you can do. Finally, Saz getting that opening pick towards Deathmaker. That's going to be huge. I think this is the first time in 8 rounds that War have the man advantage. And hopefully, they can convert this into the first round. But there's one issue that I'd actually like to address and put to bed once and for all. देखो भाइयों, ESL इंडिया है, पर इंडिया बहुत बड़ी देश है, ठीक है? सब लोगों को हिंदी आती नहीं, सब लोगों को हिंदी भाती नहीं, इसीलिए हम अंग्रेजी में कास्ट करते हैं. प्लीज प्लीज भावनाओं को समझो और बात को समझो, और हर बार चैट में आके ये गंद ना फैलाओ. धन्यवाद. जनहित में जारी.
Also, for the people who did not understand Hindi, because India is such a diverse country, I think I'll get back to it in a bit, because it seems like a set take coming in towards the B-bomb side. It's gonna be Kazi waiting it out towards Kabi. The nade is gonna be primed in and thrown in as well, doing a lot of damage. Right, is gonna get taken down 26 points. Kappa is gonna go down to finish, and Kazi is in a really good spot. I don't think the tier side is gonna be expecting this. He should have a loud red spot by now. He's in a really awkward spot, being right. Kazi getting a triple kill from a position he should not have gotten that. He barely survived. He was almost dead and somehow manages to pull that off, and I don't even know how, because he was in that position, should not have been able to get the last frag at least, because being double peaked in a situation like that, the opper missing out on the shot as well. But that was pretty impressive nonetheless. And getting back to the issue that Fred mentioned, right? India is such a diverse country that not a lot of people use Hindi as a first language. For example, the states which are down south below, I'd say, take states below Madhya Pradesh, right? Not a lot of people understand Hindi over there, so it's just something that we've been sticking to, English that is, and that's all right though, because it's something that you can't really help. But nonetheless, getting back to the game, CD's finally managed to pull a round off in 7-1. Never forget, Fed. Never forget.
Yeah, never forget. That is a meme that I refuse to die as a German football fan. Never forget. 7-1. But yeah. Oh, by the way, World Cup's coming up, the Football World Cup. Who are you supporting? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know, to be very honest, because I haven't had time to see which other countries which have qualified, because I saw certain things. I think Italy has not qualified, if I'm not mistaken. Has it?
Yeah, I don't think they have. Sad.
Well, nonetheless, getting back to the game, it is going to be the smoke blocking off the A doors. Kazi is going to find the opening. Kappa is going to go down. And it's going to be Saz falling back. And Titanic has been smoked off as well. So really good smokes coming in from both teams. Where it's going to be waiting it out. It's going to try and throw in the flashbang, which isn't really going to work out. Or maybe it is. Saz avoiding the flashbang somehow. He's going to find the frag on Ritz, and he's going to try and peek mid as well. But the smoke coming in, Saz is going to get blinded. There is going to be Baba still waiting it out inside drop zone. A really cheeky angle by Saz. If he manages the frag from that spot, it's going to be pretty interesting. But Kazi finding the frag out of Hellfighter, and Deathmaker is going to be all alone in a 1v5. Can he pull this off? 20 seconds on the clock to work with. Gets the first frag. Can he get the second one as well? Titanic. We have a player towards him, and Saz is going to find the frag onto him. Saz playing it to perfection, getting 3 kills with the op. And that is going to be the second round coming up for the CD side.
Wow, finally, some signs of life. And Baba, look at the $7,000. And he's still sticking with the MP9. I mean, is he I think he may be wanting to bankroll the team, bankroll the entire team in case someone needs a drop in some round. He's be like, yeah, I got you, fam. I've got you covered. I've got the money. Here you go. What do you want? Op, auto sniper, M4, whatever you want. I got you. Because that is just crazy. And Saz gonna go aggressive. Will drop down that double Molotov. That damage does stack, by the way. And Kazi gonna spray down. Saz gets the opening kill. Kazi with the second. And ATE now starting to sweat a little bit. Starting to feel the heat because Oops just burns Deathmaker to a crisp. And Kappa and Hellfighter, in the blink of an eye, the entire ATE team just goes up in smoke. It's a 5v2. War, whatever adjustments they've made on the past couple of rounds seems to be working, and if it ain't broke, why fix it? Because ATE right now are struggling to break down this new setup that War is going with.
And that's just, AT giving me reason. But they've only lost out of 2 rounds. I think this should be the round where they figure it out. And if they don't, just take a tactical timeout, bring your head back in the game. And the flashbang being 1 point. Hellfighter is going to find the opening. Oops is going to go down. It is going to be Saz. And again, he's going to find the opening. Kappa is going to go down. That was such a cheeky angle, and Baba being spotted. It is going to be Hellfighter all alone. There's going to be a real tough challenge because, he has been spotted. He knows where the CDs are, and CDs have the exact position of Hellfighter. And Kazi being spotted right there, just shoulder peeking. He's just wasting time. 30 seconds on the clock. Saz is going to miss out on one more shot again. And Kazi does not have to peek. The CDs are playing it perfection right now, not allowing Hellfighter to come up and have wasted so much time. He's on a 1v3. Can actually pull this off. You can find the flag onto Kazi and Saz as well, but he's just going to wait it or try and go towards mid door, I guess. He just spotted his leg. That was so cheeky. And he's going to get taken down by finish. That's going to be the third round coming up, and AT Game, the cash on their side is not looking very strong, and I think this could probably be a pistol armor force buy and just a bum rush coming towards either of these bomb sites.
Yeah, it technically should just be upgraded pistols if they want to buy in the next round. They're going to be on the 4th round loss bonus, which is going to net them $2,900. So just upgraded pistols would be what should be on the card. Kappa and Hellfighter can afford the armor as well, but it's starting to look a bit dicey for ATE Gaming. I mean, War, if they can string 5 or 6 rounds on the CT side on Cobblestone, I think they'll be more than pleased with that outcome, because at the end of the day, Cobblestone is still a very T-sided map, and Oops needs to be careful. He's on the precipice, on the verge of a 4-man bum rush through doors. And pistols, you and I both know, Mamba, they're a bit overpowered in these close encounters, especially that CZ. It can chew through fully armored opponents like nobody's business, and Oops knows this. He's just gonna hightail it out of there, drops a Molotov, drops a nade, and is like, nope, I am not taking this fight. In the meantime, Saz spots 1, spots 2, puts them both to bed, and Baba the Beast in the meantime. Oh, buddy.
Whoa,
wow.
Alright. How is this man even allowed to get those shots connected from the same spot, getting 2 kills from Vents and then going back to Titanic and getting 1 more frag? This should not be allowed. Saz is just destroying that opposition, getting 3 kills, 4 kills, 2 kills every single round. He's sitting on 12 frags right now in about 11 rounds, and that's pretty impressive. We have Kappa as well onto 12 frags, and the series are finally coming back to the game. The Terror side, though, on the other hand, Hellfighter, well, no, mind, they're not going to go in for the op. They have opted to go in for 5 AKs and a lot of resources to work with. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a fast play, but, well, slow plays haven't really been working out, and this looks more of a default because we have one guy watching mid, and Ritz is going to be waiting it out. But still, I'm looking at the radar. It looks like it's going to be a pretty slow play coming in, and just a standard setup where Ritz is just going to be spamming through mid, watching A long and mid, not allowing the CT super shot, and trying to get some sort of information going in their favor. So yeah, it's going to be a slow round coming in, and the Terror side trying to figure out what exactly it is that the CTs have been doing, and they have been destroying them, losing on 4 rounds in a row. So Kazi just waiting out towards B long. A minute 25 seconds on the clock. The smoke coming in from the CTs, avoiding that early rush, and yeah, no frags being exchanged, but Hellfighter is going to get taken out at 36 points in the meantime, and Deathmaker is going to go down. Hellfighter being spotted as well. Finish finding the first one. Kazi is going to find the flag on the rider, and being blinded. Finish is going to fall back. The smoke is going to get primed up. This is I need to brush up on my smokes. And Ritz is going to be trying to go in. It's going to try and go into its drop zone. The flashback going in is somehow still going to partially blind Baba. And Ritz being spotted, almost being taken down. So rank on 45 points of health. It's going to try and go up, and Kappa is going to go down to Kazi. And well, this looks like one more round. This looks like this is going to be the round for the CT side, and they have just been dominating AT since the last 5 rounds, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, ATE, they were the force to be reckoned with in the opening few rounds, but now it's just the tides have turned, and it's all down to Hellfighter now with 9 HP against 4 heavily armed and angry CTs, and Saz is going to get the final kill of that round. Kazi with a triple kill that previous round, and War just marching on over towards 5 rounds, not looking back. ATE now really need to reevaluate what and how War have changed their setup. But look, because both Saz and Kazi are just going off and firing on all cylinders, and ATE seem to have no answer to what War is bringing to the table. It's just a complete 180. The momentum all of a sudden just went from ATE's court to War's, and it just looks like it's a complete aim duel right now. Like, there's literally very little in terms of strategy is coming in. Mid-round calls seem to be non-existent from ATE at this point. And I was just praising them on the 7-0 mark, that they look like a unit to be reckoned with, and that, so on and so forth. But all of a sudden, the curse of the commentator is just evaporated from the server. I see cavalier plays coming in left, right, and center from ATE. No trades whatsoever. Random peaks and pushes with no communication, and they're just dying one by one. They're just walking in towards crosshairs and just getting slaughtered. And that's not how you're supposed to play. And Baba the Beast... K.
Alright.
K is the letter that we shall associate with that.
Or is this a 400 IQ smoke and something that we've not really seen into picture? But I really want to believe it's a 400 IQ smoke, but unfortunately it's not. It's gonna be used being boosted up, trying, anticipating a flashbang coming. 45 seconds on the clock to work with. Deathmaker getting the first one, getting the second one as well. 12 bullets in the gun. He finds 2 frags, finish, and Baba gonna get taken. Now it's gonna be Oops all alone. He's gonna try and find the first one. Kappa is gonna go down. So is Hellfighter, who's gonna get nailed down to his coffin. And Oops is waiting on. He's gonna get spotted. He'll go down to Deathmaker. And Deathmaker just opening things up is go. Look at that. Saz is going to go down as well. It is gonna be Kazi all alone, and Deathmaker just opening apart the bomb sites and taking the defense down on the CD side like a piece of paper. Like a measly piece of paper. It's going to be Kazi all alone in a 1v2 now. This is gonna be really hard. He's gonna try and go through the doors. He has a nade, flashbang, and a Molotov. Could probably throw one towards the bomb site and do some sort of damage at least. But it's just gonna wait it out. Well, Ryder does not have Kevlar to work with, so this could be huge. I mean, he has been spotted. He's going to get taken down as well. It's going to be Deathmaker all alone. Can he pull this off, though? It looks like he can, and, well, he's going to find the headshot onto Kazi. Gets a quad kill and gets it on for the Cherry side. Now, this round, again, it's going to be even more crucial because, the economy, the losing bonus is going to fade away. They don't really have a lot of money as well, except for onto Ryder, and Deathmaker will have a decent amount of cash to work with as well. But the CDs still have money for days, and it's only 2 more rounds to go. So I don't think it should be an issue for the CD side at least. But well, that was quite an impressive round coming in from Deathmaker nonetheless.
Man, I'll just say one thing. I mean, this game is just given us, very honestly, it's just been a grotesque display of aim on both sides. Both teams just showing off how much time they've spent in deathmatch to each other. And finally, we're going to see some aggression coming out. Baba the Beast. Why is the player with the MP9 being boosted and not the other way around? I don't get it. I don't get it. Mamba, please explain.
Well, I wish I could. I wish I could.
But yeah, I'm glad to see that a few people in chat have actually opened up Wikipedia language stats from, in India and are posting how many people speak Hindi and what percentage of the population speaks English. I'm glad finally someone's finding use for Google apart from, what kids search for on the internet these days. But Saz, he's gonna have a lot of traffic headed his way. Pop Flash is useless, but Saz, well, follow-up shot is great, misses the first shot, and now it's gonna come down to Oops. He's gonna have a lot of traffic headed his way. He's gonna play from inside stables. Saz is gonna be holding a really cheeky angle, but they're essentially both marking the same thing. It's Saz! What was that? Alright, okay. Through the head of one player into the back of another. That was beautiful. DEA, beautiful. In the meantime, Hellfighter still keeping the hopes and dreams of ATE alive even after Saz takes a huge dump on them. And Saz with one of the best 4Ks I have had the pleasure of watching in the season so far. That was a beautiful stroke of luck and a beautiful shot on his part as well with the AWP. Getting that collateral kill. And my god, I'm glad I witnessed that. I'm glad I caught that as well.
And that just blew me away because, I mean, collaterals with the ops are just a sight to behold, right? It's just so satisfying. There's something that is even more satisfying than a headshot. And even better when it's a headshot with the op. But yeah, nonetheless, it was a pretty beautiful shot. It looks like a fast B play coming in. Kappa is going to be all alone, and he's not going to go down because he realizes they want to get the trade frag onto him. It's going to be finished alongside Baba inside drop zone and the C4 making his way towards the B bombs. And now we have the rotation coming from Ritz, who is going to go in with his teammates as well. So this is going to be a B take coming in, just with just a few flashes. Ritz being blinded to eternity though, and they have control of the plat. It is going to be Saz who's going to fall back. He's going to take some damage. The smoke coming in, and well, Kappa is gonna get spotted. He's gonna spot the Opera as well. He's gonna get taken out. Maybe not. Well, finally, Hellfighter getting the flag on to finish, and Saz somehow connects a shot onto Hellfighter. It is gonna be Ryder and Deathmaker, but Ryder is gonna go down, and Saz has been playing like a beast. The amount of 3Ks and 4Ks this guy has gotten in this match is something that just blows me away, because I think he has gotten he has 4 3Ks in the first half itself.
Yeah, he's just killing it. 21 frags, top fragging on the server. The next being Kazi, 14. credit where credit is due. Look at that scoreboard. 7 rounds in a row for ATE, and then just one measly, lonely looking round for them in the middle, and War just finding their footing in that first half and ending it 7-8, and now switching over to the T side, which is technically the favored side on Cobblestone. This is their game to lose at this point, unless ATE can pull out a miraculous and a phenomenal CT side on their end. This is going to be a very difficult game for them, and ATE is still deciding on the buy. I think some people may have timed out. Yeah, there we go. The round reset might come in. Yeah, it has come in already. This is interesting because no one has timed. There we go. Just as I say it, no one's timed out. 2 people just go poof, and their guns lie listlessly on the floor. But back to that first half. That was literally a story of... That was a very dichotomous first half. Let me just rephrase that, because War were looking completely...
Hold on, let me just open up my thesaurus, please. Wait.
Yes. Go ahead. The thing is,
oh boy.
War was looking completely listless in the first half of the first half. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Like, did the genie in a bottle just came out and said, now thou shalt play Counter-Strike. And boom. They just came back out of nothing. 7-0 to 8-7, like 8-7. That is a wonderful comeback from War. And they're in the driving seat. They have the momentum. They definitely have the confidence. Like, Saz has been hitting some nasty shots. And hopefully they can just continue that form on to the second round. And ATE, they need to find their momentum again. They need to find their groove. This pause can be really helpful for them or really bad, depending on how they choose to use it. They should just talk it through, calm down, take a couple of deep breaths, and just, make their way back into the game. Because I say Cobblestone is a T-sided map, but off late, we've been seeing some phenomenal CT-side performances being put out by the top-tier teams. Now, I'm not comparing the Indian scene to the top-tier, NA or EU scene, but there is a palpable and visible trickle-down effect that we see. And off late, CT sides have been doing a lot better on Cobblestone than what we've seen in the past. Like, we've seen crazy 12-3 comebacks, and they were par for the course on Cobblestone when the team switched to the T side. But off late, teams on the CT side have been holding their own and have been actually the ones going into the lead on the CT side and then mucking it up on the T side. So there has been a slight shift in the way the meta plays out on this map. I'm just curious to see whether ATE can actually mount that kind of a CT side defense. And if they do, more power to them, and they will have the highest tier of respect that I can give a particular team. Because right now, War just pulled that off on the CT side. They were looking completely lost. They looked like they were out of the game. They'd given up, but something clicked somewhere, and all the cogs and the wheels started turning in unison, and they just blew ATE out of the water towards the latter half of that first half.
Well, that's true, and I'm still surprised at the fact that AT still held on though, and more on that later. But looking at War, the way they've been playing, right? It surprised me. Again, I expected it to be a little one-sided, but well, the second half of the first half, I don't even know if that makes sense. But towards the ending of the first half, right, the last 10 to 12 rounds, I think it was pretty interesting because of the fact that the way War came back into the game, that was pretty impressive. And Kazi has, and Saz especially, Saz has been showing a lot of metal. Look at the amount of frags he has, 21 frags at the end of the first half. Are you kidding me? That's a lot of kills, and Kappa sitting on 12 points, 12 frags comfortably. And he has gotten these the last 12 to 14 frags. He got that in a span of 7 rounds. That's 7 rounds. That just goes on to show the amount of potential that this guy has, and the mistakes that AT made, because he was sitting in the same position getting 2 or 3 frags consistently, and AT could not trade him out. So they had to figure out a counter to the AWP, which they could not, and they lost out on a lot of important rounds. So it is going to be interesting to see if War can continue with this, and especially Saz can continue with this on the terrace side, because I personally feel hopping on the terrace side on Cobblestone is a little harder because you have to try and go out and get those entries, and the angles are just so awkward, right? If someone's waiting it out behind the side, it's literally a headshot angle. You have to be very precise with the op, and it's not something that always happens, right? Because a lot of times your sensitivity is a little messed up on the zoom sensitivity ratio, and it's just hard, and not getting the technicalities. I personally feel it's a little bit hard.
I get what you're saying. I mean, sensitivity and all aside, because I'm assuming at this stage the players like their configs and CFGs are like second nature to them. Like,
I mean, excluding Excali though, Excali.
Yeah, well, Excali is special, right? He'll change his sensitivity just for the heck of it. Him and Mazel, they just love playing around with their sensitivities and their resolutions. But coming back to the topic, I'm pretty sure these guys will be very well versed with their own CFGs. But generally, opping on Cobblestone on the T side is a lot harder because, as you said, not only are the CTs holding the angles, but as an opper, to be an aggressive opper, right? To be an opper that can entry or get those opening picks, it's infinitely harder than opping on the CT side where you're essentially holding angles. Unless you're JW. And well, JW just does JW things. You can't be JW. Everyone bad JW best. That is the 11th commandment, ladies and gentlemen.
I still remember. I think it was Estralis. He was playing against on Dust 2. This was about a year and a half back. And JW throws in a Molotov towards A-Long, towards the double doors, right? And he just walks through his own Molotov. And no one expected him to push his own Molotov, surviving on like 30 points of health through his own Molotov, by the way, inside a passage where Molotov just spread a lot more. And he goes out and gets a double kill, just peeking out, gets the first strike, peeks out again, gets a second one, and just falls back casually. And you can't explain that. You cannot break it down. As an analyst, it's just so hard to explain these things to the viewers, right? Because you just cannot explain it to a viewer. Like, what do you analyze? Well, JW just went in randomly, pushed like a complete idiot, but it worked out. It's not always going to work out, but that's the thing that separates players like JW and Simple from everyone else, because these guys, they don't just have the skill to back it up. They know when not to do it more than they know when to do it. It's more important to know when not to do it, because you try that in every single round. You try that a lot more than you should. You're probably going to get destroyed, and the economy is going to go down the drain as well, because an op is a very big investment, and you have to make sure that if you are going in for a risk, a calculated risk, at that, it has to pay off, because if you lose out on your gun, it's just $6,000 going down the drain.
Exactly. So anyway, guys, enough about the op on Cobblestone. We're back. All 10 players are back in the server. ATE Gaming and War are ready to start the second half with a bang, and Hellfighter. Wait, I think there's another pause coming in. I can hear the chat tick, but I've disabled chat on my screen.
Kappa lagged out.
Kappa lagged out. Unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, it was only Deathmaker and Hellfighter timing out on the CD side. Now it's Kappa who has timed out. So this can be a little interesting to see how it actually works out.
Well, internet issues aside, once that is something that is out of our control. The internet gods are always frowning on some part of India on any given day. If it rains somewhere, internet's down. If it's too sunny, the wires will get melted and burnt. Some random happenstance will take place, and the first casualty of a freak weather accident or change is gonna be your internet. That's just the unwritten, untold gospel of life in the subcontinent. I know that because it rained for 10 minutes in Bangalore today, and half of HSR didn't have power or internet for a good hour and a half. Just like that, 10 minutes of rain, and everything's like, okay then, no power, no internet, cool.
Oh, but I think your electricity board just got wet and got in the mood of not working.
Yeah, like everyone's doing rain dance on their roof, including like the circuit.
It's surprising though. Just 10 minutes of rain and 90 minutes of no power is something that just grinds your gears, right? And I'm just lucky to have a backup generator along with a UPS. The only problem I have with my ISP is the fact that he would not put a UPS at the switch that he has put down in my apartment, because without a UPS, even if I have a backup generator, my internet is going to go down for 3 minutes, and I cannot explain it to those guys. They're like, sir, 3 minute ke liye to ja raha hai, usme kya ho gaya? I'm like, buddy, I'm casting a match over here. And if it goes down even for 3 minutes, I'm going to miss out on 2 rounds.
I mean, see, again, because esports still isn't a thing, ISPs they don't understand routing or pings or anything. Bhaiya, Google to khul raha hai na, YouTube to chal raha hai na, aapko kya dikkat hai? Right? But anyway, I hope now all the connection issues are sorted and we can finally have the cracker of a second half that this game promises. Ritz is going to go up long. He's going to meet a lot of traffic. He needs to be careful. Does eat a nade, spots out 3 players, falls back. That's the smart play in my opinion. Kappa is the player with the kit. Ritz is going to reposition himself towards mid. The rotation has come in, but there's still Hellfighter left. The sole defender towards the B bomb site. And look at how smart this play was. They're just going to rotate all the way from mid, but they're giving a lot of sound cues. And I think they have Ritz posted up towards the mid entrance, so they are gonna hear this, and the rotation should be coming in from the CTs. Hellfighter is gonna get completely blinded and overrun. It's gonna come down to Kappa to hold down the fort towards the B bomb site while the rest of the team comes in, and Kappa lands a juicy headshot onto Saz, but Oops just returns the favor. It's a 3v3, all players more or less on full HP. Deathmaker playing the edge of the smoke, spots out Kazi, takes him down, and he's still managing to stay alive somehow. And look at that, Ritz has already made the flank, but Baba the Beast gets the kill, and now it's all down to Oops. Can he do it again? Can he play with the hearts and get the kill? Ritz, oh, Ryder, get one kill.
Oh, what a shot, but well, he's gonna get destroyed by Deathmaker, and didn't really have to peek out that wide. I'm pretty sure he would have heard him where he was, but nonetheless, no, a valiant effort, but no working out in the favor of War, and the CT's having a head start to start with. But again, you know, it's an anti-eco, and well, oh, look at that Baba, and Oops are going to go in for the AK-47s. They're going to pass it up. It is going to be the hero play coming in. Do you expect this to be a quick B take again, Fred?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, this is War, so anything can happen.
Well, alright, this is going to be interesting to see how it actually pans out. We have 2 AK-47s to work with, and if they can manage to pull this round off, this is going to be godlike, believe me. And the CTs are going to get caught off guard, because even though they got the C4 down, they would probably expect a complete eco, but the AK-47's coming in, and Hellfire has been spotted. I think he realizes that they have the AKs to work with. Nonetheless, the nade is going to go in. Saz is going to get taken down to 54 points of health. That is just unfortunate. Could probably pass the AK to finish, but well, it is going to be Saz who's going to find the first one. The smoke is going to be coming in as well, and they are going to probably push it out through the smoke. Hellfire just falling back, and Saz is going to get spotted, not being taken down. Though surviving on 29 points of health. It's going to be Oops. It's going to be behind him, and Saz again getting the second headshot onto 28 points of health, and Ryder getting the frag onto Baba the Beast. He's going to find the second one as well. Kazi is going to go down. The flashbang coming in, and the AKs are actually working out. It's going to be Kappa and Ritz in a 2v2, but Saz and Oops both are low on health points. It's going to be Kappa on 8 points of health, bleeding internally. Barely surviving. The C4 has not been planted yet. It's stuck towards the B platform. Kappa and Reds, you know, putting in all of their experience in use right now. And Reds not being able to go up. Is finally gonna get boosted up top, and the flashbang coming from B long. It's gonna be Reds on the backstab though. And I would have rather gone my UMP to him because, you know, long range obviously. But he's going to be creeping up. Oops is going to be watching the backstab. Not quite sure if he's going to spot him or not. But Ritz playing it to perfection. Oops is not going to spot him. He's going to get spotted and will probably get taken on as well. Maybe not. But Ritz is going to find the opening. It is going to be Saz all alone in a 1v2. Can he pull this off? 25 seconds on the clock to work. The C4 has been dropped as well. Saz is going to get hurt, you know, jumping on top of triangle. And Kappa is not going to peek out. Now this is going to be so hard. 18 points of health. Well, the C4 is not to his platform. Ritz, I really like what he did. Because he just went back to his drop zone, and Saz is going to be expecting 2 guys coming in from there. And Ritz is going to be caught. He's going to get spotted. This is going to work out. 7 seconds on the clock to work with. He's probably going to try and fake it out. Maybe not. He's just going to go in for the C4, and he's going to get taken down. And this is the best example of experience coming into play. I could have not explained it better to you guys why Ritz and Kappa are still relevant and are still important to this team.
That was so smart from Ritz. That firstly, the decision to get reverse boosted up on towards drop, Ritz peeking long, getting the kill, and then falling back. That was just so smart. He bought his team so much time, and he knew that his teammate was very low, so the plays had to come from him. He did such a good job, and somehow ATE, they lost a lot of players that previous round, but they managed to hold on. They recover both the AK-47s, and well, they did a very good job. That was so good. Kazi just getting obliterated right there. His face is now basically a Jackson Pollock painting on the wall towards B long, and it's a 4v5 finish, already down to 31 points of health. That nade taking a chunk of his health, and Saz, alright, is Deathmaker basically saying, alright Saz, you had your fun on the CT side, now it's my turn to get those frags. And Deathmaker already on a 3k. They're going to go pushing. Deathmaker is not going to take no for an answer. Gets the fourth. Can he get the ace? And yes, he can. That's the eco ace of dreams for Deathmaker. He's going to have fun with that. That ace is going to reflect very nicely on his match IR. And there we go. ATE. Now they're having fun on the CT side. War. They need to start thinking of something like they did on their CT side and try and mix things up and try and throw a curveball towards, you know, bringing the match back into their favor. Because this is going out of hand right about now. There's got to be some drastic measures taken from War.
That's true, and they've gone in for the buy again. It is interesting to see what actually works out, but wait, why is my ear ringing? I think wait, I thought I just heard a flashbang, but it's just my ear ringing again. Alright, but nonetheless, getting back to the game, it's gonna be Kappa just waiting over the UMP45. Deathmaker falling back, being spotted, surviving with 46 points of health. Flashbang coming in from the CTs. It is going to take some time of about 4 seconds off the clock. The smoke, though, and Hellfire is not going to spawn, but alright, Saz and Kazi opening things up. The Molotov is going to flash back. Saz, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be Kappa throwing a smoke towards Creek, and it's going to creep up towards the staircase and finish. He's going to drop down. Ritz is going to get spotted. He will have to again try and get at least two flash, at least the first one onto drop zone to waste a bit of time. And the Molotov is on point. The flashbang as well. Look at Ritz just impressing all of us collectively, and this is something that is really, really nice. So what's the Rider who threw in the resources? I'm not quite sure, but finish. He's just going to wait it out to his drop zone. 48 seconds on the clock to work in a 3-5 situation. Kappa is a little too aggressive, but has to make this work. If he gets taken down, this is going to be devastating for AT, but he's going to try and find the first one. He's going to get it. He's going to get traded out really, really quickly. Rider, they're just waiting down. He's going to get backstabbed. Saz is going to find the frag onto it. It's going to be Ritz all alone in a 1v4, and I think he's just going to fall back and try and save this up so that he can drop a gun to Rider in the next round, and that is going to be pretty interesting to see how it actually works out.
Well, War finally putting a round on the board on this in the second half, and we saw what they did once they just got a taste of victory. It's like almost ATE almost unraveled. So can War continue on that form that they found in the first half and just take this game away from ATE, or will ATE actually, you know, bounce back and, you know, just retain their momentum? They have the money, I'm assuming. Oh no, they don't. 3 players will have money. 2 players will struggle. Ritz will save this gun, so they will be going in for a buy next round ATE, and that's going to be a very, very important round for ATE, because if they lose that, they're going to be in for an eco, and War will have moved up to just 1 round. And ATE, they'd never want a team like War breathing down their shoulders, breathing down their neck, sorry. And the match is very delicately balanced right now. It's beautifully poised to go either way depending on the outcome of this very round. If ATE can win this, War will struggle and manage to put a buy together, but it's going to be a very poor buy, and then they can start turning the screws. But if War win this, ATE are broke, and then War move up to almost tying the scores, and then anything can happen from that point on.
Oh, what a shot! What a shot. That was so tasty coming from Deathmaker, and I really liked it. That was really quick as well, by the way. He's still waiting it out. He could probably spam it, and he's going to connect the second one as well, even though he's absolutely blinded, and Finish is going to get taken out. Deathmaker stepping it up, and you know, the first few games AT played, it was so, I actually felt that I think there's just too much hype just around the name, and you know, it's not the wrong hype, but the lineup would have a tough time living up to it. But looking at this matchup, you know, the young guns, Hellfire and Deathmaker stepping it up with the experience of Ritz and Kappa and the finesse coming in from these guys. You know, we saw that one specific run, they were in a 2v2 situation. Ritz went towards B long, and right now this team just looks so balanced, right?
Yeah, right now it is looking very good for ATE Gaming, but this setup though is extremely questionable, because who's watching long? Ryder's gonna come in, he's gonna spot Oops, and Oops is gonna die, but Ritz is just chilling towards that half wall.
Right.
Look, just Alright. Ritz, good morning. Alright, Ritz finally waking up, getting into the round, getting a kill. Good for him. Literally let 2 people pass by, nobody marking his long. That was a very questionable setup, but Kazi is going to find the kill on a Deathmaker, who was so good towards the beginning of that round. 2 glorious op shots. Kazi spots out Hellfighter in towards drop, and wow, he's just shuffling that bomb and that AK-47. I think he's trying to deal cards towards B long right now, but he's going to fall back. No time left. Hellfighter doing just enough to keep, you know, the bomb from being planted. And ATE win that ever so crucial round. And the thing is, like I said, War's economy is not that great. They can go for a buy. Kazi can drop that AK-47 towards either Saz or Oops and then go buy up an AK-47 of his own. But their buy is going to be fairly limited. Or are they going for the eco? This is interesting. They're actually going for the smarter call, in my opinion, and are going for the eco.
Well, I'm still surprised that Tech 9 is still relevant because Baba is going to be wielding it, and I thought everyone stopped using the Tech 9, but nonetheless the Molotov is going to go in, which is going to block off and divide Kazi and, you know, the rest of his teammates, but he has the crossing smoke, so he's not probably going to get taken out. Look at that! Look at that shot! Kazi is going to get destroyed by Deathmaker's Orb, and, well, tried to be cheeky, got destroyed, and that's just something that's very unfortunate because that was a sole gun on the terrorist side which has been dropped towards B-Long, and this just right now just looks like it's impossible for War, but we've seen some crazy anti-eco rounds going in the favor of the teams which were on the eco, and Hellfighter is in a good spot, but the lack of flashbangs is going to be devastating for the terrorists. I guess the first one, very good second, Sushil is going to get it, and just, you know, just holding the mouse one button sitting right there. He's going to get the third one as well. What is even happening? Oops, is going to be the lone wolf on the terrorist side in a 1v5, and Deathmaker barely surviving on 3 points. So it's going to be Oops waiting it out. And it's just a matter of time. Oh, okay. One more second, he would have gotten destroyed right there. And I think they know where exactly Oops is. And dabbing through the smoke, trying to find the frag. Oops is just going to be waiting it out. Ryder, being a little too adventurous, is going to find the frag, making $900 to work with. And is going to pick up the deal as well. That is going to be the 13th round coming off AT Gaming. And one more chance for the Cherry side to bounce back in this game. Are they going to go in for the buy though? Because if they go in, they won't have a lot of resources to work with. This is going to be interesting to see how it actually works out. But they have decided to go in for a Mactin, and resources. Oops is going to, you know, take one for the team and go in for the resources. In the meantime, Kazi and Baba have not bought up yet, so they are going to go in for the buy. Still have, oh, look at that. Oh, my OCD is so satisfied right now. The triangle of resources. That was so nice to watch. And Raid's trying to find that early opening is going to get taken down. Saz is going to find that opening. And well, that's just going to be unfortunate for AT Gaming.
Indeed, and War finally getting that man advantage early on. They can actually capitalize quite a bit from this. They've slowed down the tempo. I like that they're just allowing ATE to fester in that man disadvantage a little bit longer, not allowing them to get an easy refrag and an easy trade to even things up. Ryder with that swag 7 up close can be very dangerous, and just as I say that, he sings sweet lullabies into Saz's ears. And Deathmaker again, the perennial thorn with the AWP, tries a quick flick, but Ryder there to bail him out of that trouble. And they've got bomb control, and now Kazi and Oops, they just have such a monumental task ahead of themselves. This is not gonna end well for them. Kazi, in the meantime, he's gonna walk up long, finds one kill, gets taken down, but traded. And Ryder coming out, clutch that on 4K for him, bails out Deathmaker and gets the opening pick as well, the equalizing pick. Picks up the AK-47, whips around, gets the player on the A-bomb site, and just continues to wreck shit up from that point onwards. ATE move on to 14 rounds, and War's economy is in the dumpster. They have no money. They're gonna get, I think they're gonna be on max loss. No, they're gonna be on 4th round loss bonus, but they are, it looks like, playing for the overtime because they've bought nothing into this round but upgraded pistols. And Ritz is gonna oblige Oops with a nice juicy wall bang with the AK-47. This is not looking good for War. At one point it looked like they've got everything under control, but no pop flash, and Ritz is gonna make easy work of the test. Coming in, that nade's gonna go sailing in though, and Kazi down to 40 health in the blink of an eye. This is just going south so very fast.
Yeah. And I think one of the viewers had a misconception that both of us are from Bangalore. Well, which is not true, because they were just again bashing us for not using Hindi as a language for casting. But nonetheless, talking about the game now, overtime is going to be really tough. I mean, it's still possible, right? It's still Counter-Strike at the end of the day, and anything can happen. But winning about 6-7 rounds in a row, it's gonna be a tough ask. I mean, they've done it in the first half, but consistently on the terrace side, this is gonna be extremely difficult because the CDs do have the economy, and the setups for them have been working out, and the terrace side have just not been able to figure out a counter to it. And Baba being absolutely blinded, the flashbang is going to go in again. He's gonna avoid it, and he's gonna find the frag onto Kappa. well, in a 1v3, can still actually pull this off. He has a C4 and 30 seconds on the clock to work with, so enough amount of time. But Deathmaker is going to be scoped in and will find the shot onto Baba, and that is going to be the map and match point coming in for ATE Gaming.
Yep. Match and map point. Not only that, 7 match and map points, and it looks like War have no T-side whatsoever on Cobblestone. And ATE Gaming, they proved me wrong. They have a fantastic CD side, and War, well, War's T-side is, I mean, as prevalent as the Sasquatch or Bigfoot. That is to say, it's non-existent. And just been sad to watch, to be honest, but credit where credit is due. Deathmaker, Ryder, Hellfighter, Kappa and Ritz have put together such a phenomenal CT side that it has been a sight to behold. And there's Deathmaker again, getting that cheeky shot through the smoke. Can he do more? Of course he can. Gets the second, gets the third, and now it's all down to Saz in a 1v5. He does have the AWP. He did marvelous things on the CD side, but this may be a little too much for him. Hellfighter shoots him in the face with the M4, and that's good night, Irene. ATE end it 16-8, and War are just left scratching their heads as to what the hell happened. Mamba, any closing words to that absolute demolition we saw on the CT, on their CT side, because the scoreboard literally looks like it's been flipped on its head?
Well, it was an interesting matchup for the viewers, and it was a good match to watch as well for the spectators. So not much to say. I think War tried really well, and they made some mistakes in the first half. They rectified it, worked on it, but in the second half they could not show up, and it did not really work out. So, but nonetheless, you know what, guys, it is going to be it from the casting end of things, Fet and I. But in the meantime, we are going to throw it back to the studio where our analysts will analyze the game and break it down for you guys. And well, over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Mama and Fed, for the amazing game. And ATE Gaming are your winners of today's game. It seems to be a favorite for them, the Cobblestone map.
Yeah, they've been doing really well on Cobblestone so far. So good luck to them. And they've actually, it was a good fight by Wargaming, by the way. And going into this match, they looked fairly good. Halfway through, they were still 8-7. The score was pretty close. However, not able to close after the second half. They barely got 1 point on the board after that. And
Yeah.
ATE showing great examples of why you need really good old school players that they have. You know, they've been playing for a long time. They have a lot of
Yeah.
experience, and then these guys explained it best. The casters, they were talking about how Ritz made the plays to make up for the disadvantages that they were facing during the game. So great textbook Counter-Strike coming out of these players, and I was really impressed and how ATE is evolving. Right now they're not on the top of the board. They need to be in the top 4 to make it to the LAN event, so keep that in mind, boys. You need to be top 4 to make it to any LAN event that you want to make it to.
I mean,
the
I was
Premiership.
talking to Adi recently about ATE, you know, being on 8th on the board, and he was like, till now this team has played all the best teams, whether you talk about Entity, Brutality, all of them. So that kind of makes it easier for them now that they have finished with the heavy duty teams in the country. Now is where, you know, they can start really doing their basics, understanding their team gameplay more, and also playing against teams where they have a better chance of taking the game, because it's a more evenly matched up position for them. So I'm hoping to see, like you said, I hope they make it to the LAN finale. It'll be very exciting to see them. But talking about ATE Gaming, we have their second squad, which is the Dota 2 squad, coming up next. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership Summer Seasons Master League. I'm your host, Angela, and today I'm joined with a very special guest who's been with me through Clash Royale, Counter-Strike, and now for the final game of today, Dota 2. Gautam, how was your day at the desk?
It was an excellent day, by the way, today. I had a lot of fun. We ended up analyzing all 3 games now.
Yeah.
And basically, the shift from Clash Royale to Counter-Strike to Dota 2, I get to experience everything today.
Yeah.
But, however, not a lot of people know this. I do play a lot of Dota 2, and I am horrible.
An amazing axe player. I know you're an amazing axe player.
Yes,
We just played recently.
I've been running a lot of axe lately. For some reason, I feel that axe is kind of fits in all situations,
Yeah.
but I'm having a little hard time lately because I first pick axe and then you get counted.
You get counted really bad. That
It's
happens.
all range hero lineup. Then it's like we're gonna stay away from this guy.
Yeah.
Not going to touch him. But today, exciting game.
Yes, today is a very exciting game. And talking about exciting games, you're going to have ATE Gaming with Team Akatsuki. Now, we've already seen ATE play in Counter-Strike where they took the victory. I hope their luck continues in the next game for them. So let's quickly see what ATE Gaming Dota 2 squad is all about. Alright, so that is Team ATE Gaming. As of now, they sit 8 on the board. They have only collected 3 points for themselves, even though they have played about 3 matches. They've taken 1 victory, 2 losses, and that's where you get your 3 points. Most of their players are from Bombay, but Smoke and Zeus are also part of the team play from Kolkata. They are a very interesting team. They have 5 individual players who have actually taken part in a lot of tournaments and even won the U-Cypher. They have won IESC at another tournament, so looking pretty strong. And
I wanted to ask you is because I've not seen a lot of these players part of the Premiership. Have they spent a lot of time in Premiership prior to this, or have we been seeing them in different teams? Because those names that we just not saw right now, I don't recognize all of those.
Well, they've all individually, I've seen them play in variety teams, but together, this is the first time they are playing the ESL India Premiership. They entered, I think, after they played the Starter, the Challenger, and they're sitting in Masters, and I think they're also an invited team this year. Yes,
ATE was given a direct invite into the Premiership, and let's hope these guys can live up to the name as well. We saw Counter-Strike match just prior to this, and ATE did end up winning that match. So now these guys have huge responsibilities on their shoulders to kind of win this match and make a breakthrough. But the second team is not a small team to just roll over and, die.
And while we talk about how AT is new to the ESL India Premiership, today they play against a team who has been part of the ESL India Premiership for a very long time. Team Akatsuki came in from the Starter Cup, entered the Challenger, made that spot, won in 2017, and they got an invitation into the Masters League. So let's see Team Akatsuki. Alright, and that is Team Akatsuki. As of now, they are sitting with only one victory for themselves, and they are kind of already played 5 games. A little tough run for them as of now in the ESL India Premiership. Also, to put to this, they had a little bit of a roster exchange over there, a little bit of shuffle, and as we know, Nepal is not really very big when it comes to Dota 2. So Sagar is always looking out for new players, trying to find the best. But I commend them to always being there and always they've not missed a single match as of now in the ESL India Premiership. And for me, that is very nice to see their commitment, their consistency, and I think even you have heard this name so many times.
Yes, they're very committed and very much big fans of Naruto, and we see 2 Naruto characters being their name. So I'm a big fan of Naruto also. So
I used to watch some.
Yes, but I think I've seen like all 600 episodes or something.
Wow.
Not something that I would recommend anyone getting into now because it's just too many episodes of it. It'll destroy your life, by the way. So draft is live, so
Draft is live. ATA Gaming going out and banning of the Shadow Shaman, Witch Doctor and Gyrocopter. Very nice bans coming in there. Going to just play their cards safe. Akatsuki meanwhile going to ban it, the Dark Willow, the Pang and the Tiny. Going to quickly pick up that Sladar for themselves and giving ATA the second 2 picks as they start their draft. They can opt to pick up their supports at the beginning itself. They don't really want Akatsuki to have another very strong support. If that is Sladar going in the offlane, it's going to be Axel mostly playing that Sladar. Last time I saw this team play, they had a substitute who was playing the 4th row, and that kind of ruined the whole game for them. So I'm hoping that this time around they don't really have another support. They're playing with their full lineup because Akatsuki is strongest when they play as their main 5. ATA Gaming going to respond with the very favorite Sand King over there. Disruptor still available if they want to opt to go there as pick number 2. They also like to play the Rubik quite a bit. So I'm seeing if they're going to opt to go for that. They could also opt to go with let's see, Rubik and Disruptor. I think these are the 2 options that they can see as supports. I've seen them play before. They're pretty good at it. In the mid, of course, they do like to play the Invoker. So
what do you think about the 2 bans that ATA Gaming has put up, Shaman and Witch Doctor? 2 very good control supports that they've decided to kind of ban out right off the bat. They're saying that, hey, we don't want anything to slow us down or control. And Akatsuki actually answering that with a Sladar, where they're saying, hey, we cannot take these 2 supports will control the enemy heroes. So like, okay, we'll go for Sladar. So a blink stun that Sladar crush that he does is something ATEs, maybe something's going for a hero that probably will be kited a lot. Maybe would we see an Ursa? I don't know.
The thing with the Witch Doctor and the Shadow Shaman, as of now in this particular 7.13 of Dota 2, they are very, very strong.
Yes, they are.
They have been devastating, and ATA Gaming really don't want to go up against the Witch Doctor because there's not really much you can reply to that unless you completely counterpick him with example an Omni Knight or an Oracle. So seeing that, you know, they really don't want those 2 in the opposite lane because they could get countered with their present lineup that they're choosing to play. The Leshrak, of course, being a beautiful support over there. I'm hoping to see whether the player is able to manage to play that hero pretty well.
You think Leshrak is going to be support, or I think he's going to be mid?
I think it's optional. I think they will not send him mid because it will be a little risky for them.
Okay.
They could mostly send him in the safe lane and maybe opt to go for Invoker mid because they do like to play the Invoker. They also like to play a Void a lot. But for now, the bans are going to be the Lifestealer and Juggernaut coming out there from
notice how the
gaming.
bans have now shifted over to hard carries now. They're kicking a lot of hard carries out of the lane, out of the game right now. Gyrocopter, you have the Lifestealer and the Juggernaut completely banned out. And on the other hand, we have some utility heroes being banned by Akatsuki, where we have a Tiny, Monkey King and Razor being banned out. And this question was brought up earlier also, like why is Razor being banned so much? Is that how much of a terror? I know your Rubik pick came through, so that is interesting. But coming back to Razor, why is Razor such a threat? I know he, like, you know, you put fuels on him or whatever, you just zap away.
It's basically just the static link. If you were to just put it down for me in one sentence, it would be the static link. At the early stages of the game, Razor going mid lane against any hero, he's just going to steal damage and get really strong. And if a Razor is going to have double the damage at an early stage, he's going to farm faster. If he farms faster, he's going to level up faster. He's going to be a huge trouble for the second person in the lane. And it also is very hard to gank a Razor because he's pretty tanky. So like most of the teams just don't like to play against something which, you know, they have to put a lot of effort into just to kill him. And Razor's also got a lot of updates. He's been buffed quite a bit, so they just like, I'm going to play this safe. I really don't want to play against this hero.
Now they've gone into the reserve time. They're really taking their time to picking this hero. Now they've gone for Silencer. I think that's an excellent pick looking at what ATE currently has. And I'm really interested in seeing how ATE is going to go ahead and plan around the Silencer now, because the first 3 heroes on ATE side are going to be devastated by that ulti of Silencer.
Definitely, and ATE going to reply to that with the Void. It's one of their favorite pickups again. They also, this makes me think that ATE could maybe send a Meepo mid. They like to even send a Meepo mid, and it works for them.
You know what is quite interesting? All the things that you've been talking about, it's actually happening there. So if Akatsuki just give you a call before ATE team is playing, you could tell them exactly what to ban out.
I think most of the teams,
they pick Void, you talk about Rubik, they pick Rubik there, and I was just like, wow, you seem to have figured out ATE gaming pretty well. And Akatsuki now answering with their hard carry. That's
full of surprises. I mean, this is the first time Akatsuki has picked up the PA. Sorry, they have also decided to go with the Silencer, which is not one of their conventional pickups. They did pick that in their first game in the ESL India Premiership, but other than that, they've not really worked with that hero. This also makes me think that it's going to be mostly an Omni Knight off lane, Sladar and Silencer in the safe lane with the PA, but that could be a little risky bet for them. The Death Prophet still available in the pool. The Queen of Pain is out there. The Templar Assassin still to be picked up, but for now, the OD, the massacring OD, is out of the pool for now. Also, it doesn't really fare well against an Omni Knight. So I wouldn't really see Akatsuki. Actually, yeah, Akatsuki could have picked up the OD. It would have worked in their favor with the Omni Knight. So just going to get a quick ban.
They banned that out completely. They don't want to see OD. Definitely, they don't want to see. Now, if you remember a couple of patches ago where Omni Knight's Repel was pretty OP back then. It used to be fairly long, and then PA and the Omni combo used to be crazy.
It's devastating.
Yes, it's the right word is disgusting.
It's disgusting. That
but
could
now,
be the other word.
Now they have nerfed the Omni Knight, so that's not too much of an issue, but still, especially high ground pushes and everything, PA could be a problem, because imagine this free BKB basically.
Exactly. Like if you don't have to invest into one whole item for PA, which is basically the BKB, because as soon as she gets the BKB, she's unstoppable. She has everything inbuilt, whether it's crit, it's damage, it's life steal also, you basically get it. So it's basically with an Omni Knight, you've secured your PA not going to die, and she has a Sladar to cut off the armor, and now it all comes down to what they're going to go mid. Now looking at their draft, I'm hoping that Akatsuki opt to go for an Invoker, but AT Gaming, as far as I see these guys, they would opt to go either for a Shadow Fiend. They like to play the Shadow Fiend, works well with the Void combo. Also, if Rubik is able to steal at the right time, I think AT has a good shot. But if Akatsuki play the way they've always played with that 5-man, let's push together, I think they've got this secured. But Queen of Pain.
And finally, we see Queen of Pain coming
out. I'm
a
little worried, actually, because the last time Akatsuki picked up the Queen of Pain, it was Madhura, their captain, Sagar, who was playing it mid, and it didn't really work in their favor because they kind of sent Dreamy, who is basically their mid in the carry role, and maybe that also led to a little bit of conflict in calls, because I feel like most of the time Madhura is the one who gives the calls, but he had a little bit of struggle in the mid lane. In his defense, I mean, he did play against Signify, so it's a little risky
Signify is it's an exception for the Indian Dota scene right now, and we don't have a lot of competition. Like, I'm not saying the rest of the teams are not as great, but Signify is just sitting on another level, which there are a couple of teams that are trying to break that barrier and get close to them.
True.
We've seen good performances coming out of ROG
Esports
and Wipeout. We saw good gameplay coming out of them. And if you remember correctly, we saw Akatsuki playing Viper as the last pick, by the way. Akatsuki played Signify in the LAN event, and they almost took a game off them.
That's true, and I think it all comes down to how well you study your opponent's picks. And I mean, as an analyst myself, I just basically go back home and I do a read through on what are the most picked heroes by the team, what are they good at playing, and I think Viper coming in there from Team ATE is a very good pickup. It sustains
Especially
well
considering
against
the fact that Silencer is on the other side,
yeah,
and let's not forget the PA.
And the PA and the Queen of Pain, because Viper is one of those heroes that can sustain against the Queen of Pain. And I think with
Queen
that,
of Pain is going to have a hard time, very hard time in the lane, because the Viper is going to just annoy the hell out of it. When Viper comes in the lane, I'm like, just leave this lane. It's better off just leaving the lane. But I would like to see them stand up against that Viper and see if they can get some good last hits. And
if you had to put your bets, who would it be on?
Right now, I will like to put my bets on... I think I'm going to go with Akatsuki for this game because I like their draft a bit better. But ATE has a big trump card, Viper, if they can do a lot with that Viper. And if he gets through in mid-game with a lot of farm, I think that'll be their game to lose. So if ATE capitalizes on Viper, I think they're good to go. So.
Is ATA going to continue on their victory squad with their CSGO team too? Or is Akatsuki going to make sure that they've got this one in the bag? We'll find out very shortly as we head into the game with our casters, Vivek and Floki. So you guys can take it and go.
Okay folks, welcome back to ESL India Premiership Summer Season. My name is Floki, joining me is Vivek, and you are watching Team Akatsuki versus Team... One second, I'm disconnected, I'm so sorry for this.
Yeah, we got Akatsuki facing off versus ATE. Floke's having a couple of issues with his camera control. He's going to quickly reconnect. Clearly he's been snoozing during the draft, but I've got the draft covered. I'm actually leaning towards the ATE draft. It's a much more well-rounded lineup. They've got control, they've got the Viper with the break to deal with the PA, they've got tower takedown potential once Leshrac gets a couple of points in the Edict, and they've also got a better track record here. Floki has disconnected. I'm sure the production team will be controlling the camera until then. But I want to talk a little bit more about ATE's track record, because some of you might not have kept up with all the games until now. ATE's first game of Dreamy, just getting the courier sniped at mid. What the hell? And first blood as well. Floki, I hope you're back.
I'm trying. I've restarted my Dota. There was an issue with my camera, it just wouldn't let me move. Back in game now and I'm gonna reconnect. Hopefully it's gonna work this time. So yeah, talking about that first blood kill, who's it on? Who ended up dying?
I saw the courier snipe and simultaneously the first blood happened. It was the silencer falling to smoke on the Sand King in that off lane. Are you still not able to move your camera?
I'm back in. Okay, so I'm back in and
bottom.
I am
Look bottom.
Oh, bottom lane? What's happening? Madara is dropping low. That's what's happening. So he doesn't have a salve. Okay, never mind. This Lada TP didn't give him a salve, I think?
Yep.
Okay.
So I want to talk about ATE's track record a bit. They've been looking rather decent. Their first game was versus Council, which they ended up winning rather convincingly. They played versus Cullies, against whom they did end up losing. I think they played another game so far. They played versus the ROG Titans, which they ended up losing as well. So just pulling up some stats here. We've also got the points table, which can come up if production does will it to come up. So they played 3 games, 2 losses, 1 win, and they need this win badly. They've got to stay in the top 4. It's top 4 that does end up progressing towards the land, which is taking part in the next month or so. ATE, they've still got 2 phases. This is phase 1. At the end of phase 1, we're going to have a quick relegation promotion kind of thing happening between the Challenger League and the Masters League. ATE want to be in the top 4, at least not in the bottom 4, but down bottom.
Oh no, down bottom, what's happening?
Yeah, Slada ends up following.
Damn. Looks like the safe lane is working out for... I mean, this off lane is working out for ATE.
Yeah.
Smoke. He was playing carry for AT if I recollect correctly.
No.
Yeah, I do remember him playing the Faceless Void at some point in this Masters League. In fact, I remember casting that game. So looks like he did switch roles. I think it was early on though in the Masters League.
Okay.
The initial few games, that's probably where he was playing carry.
Okay. I've been following Smoke. He was part of a team from Calcutta. That's how he got started in the Indian professional circuit. I think back then he played the offlane as well. He played a bit of 4 position with Buriza, the same Buriza lineup that went on to win Taiwan Excellence, and now he seems to be kind of fluid between the 4 and the 3 position.
Yep.
Down bottom though,
Lane,
Matara.
There's another power strike available on Smoke, and they might find the kill. They certainly should.
Yeah.
Smoke though, is he gonna die for it? Looks like he will. I think that's Madara who... Wait. Who is this guy? Who's the slaughter? 369. Okay, let's just call him 369. 369 comes in and grabs the kill.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's still a trade that favors ATE because you're getting a carry and you're giving up a... What, a Sand King? I mean, Sand King will happily die for the enemy carry multiple times.
Yep. I'm actually a bit perplexed by what this Silencer is doing with his time. He's actually stacking the medium camp. Now, I'm not sure for whom. Have Akatsuki already 4 minutes in assumed that...
wait, Smoke? Yeah, that got popped. That got broken. Smoke is gonna get spotted out as he did pop the enemy Smoke. He's trying to juke away with the Burrow Strike, probably go to the high ground. Crush flies through. He's taking a fair amount of damage, but is going to be able to Burrow Strike away. And 369 might be in some trouble. He's actually taking up a fair amount of damage. Dreamy is here, but the Viper's chasing him as well. And now Smoke, he has to ducktail and run, as he's certainly going to end up falling here. Gives up on his life, stands still. Dreamy, he's going to TP out.
Smoke had 7 1 charges. He paused for a moment to micro his illusions and try and get a deny off in the middle of that last word. That's what Smoke was trying to do.
I mean,
because there was, I think Dreamy did throw out a Shadow Strike on him. And he was trying to get the deny off, which was a really ambitious play. But if it worked, it would have been in one of our highlight clips.
Oh, indeed. That would have been a huge play because illusions barely deal any damage nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think is coming out on top in this laning phase? I think it's ATE because mid lane is going in their favor.
Yep. Already Akatsuki are losing 2 out of 3 lanes. They're losing the safe lane badly. Quite badly, in fact. I mean, you can break down the net worth charts, and the Phantom Assassin really struggling. The mid lane isn't looking that good either. I was a bit surprised with this Queen of Pain pickup. There's so much team fight on the side of AT and down mid.
Oh, mid, what's happening? Looks like the Viper did get gone upon, but he's trying to TP out. He will get the Queen of Pain meanwhile and will be successful in TPing out to the shrine.
Yeah, he did manage to drop the Viper Strike on the Queen of Pain. Dreamy did have a TP, but didn't end up TPing out of there, which really shouldn't have happened.
Well, I mean, in the heat of the moment, sometimes you forget about things. You know, you're playing in the Masters League. There's a bit of a pressure on you to win.
Absolutely. And there is a lot of pressure on Akatsuki because they've been having a really rough run here in...
Once again, Madara is actually falling pretty damn low. Zeus might be able to find the kill with the lightning, and indeed he will. Smoke? Is he going to chase for more? Does have 17 wand charges. Zeus now getting turned around upon. 369 is a double damage room, but with the wand he goes back up to full health, and now August is in trouble. But Smoke, he looks like he's not going to have a fun time either, as Dreamy comes in and with the scream secures the kill. Man, this early game for Akatsuki, it's not going well. What do you think is that they need to do differently at this moment to...
what can Akatsuki do differently?
Yep.
I don't know. There are a lot of issues with the Akatsuki draft. There's a severe lack of lockdown. They got some team fight, not the best. Silencer can like halt AT in their tracks, and that could turn team fights. But that's a really big cooldown to rely on. The Slada's got to get his Blink Dagger, and Dreamy's got to stop dying.
Yep, Dreamy ends up falling once again. This Leshak is getting a lot more out of his lane than I think he should have.
I mean, I think with the new patch, and I want to say new patch with the patch that's been in effect since a good 2 months. It's really important to understand how and what kind of side lanes you should be running. You're no more drafting a safe lane, tri lane just to deal with one off laner and what the supports can do by A, roaming to the mid lane, or B, later on in the game, in team fights in the mid to late game. You gotta think of a support that can be effective in the side lane. And both the Silencer and the Slada, I mean, they can do stuff, but you put them in a 2v2 situation versus a Leshrac and a Sand King and Akatsuki, they're coming short here in the drafting department because both these supports can't really do too much. Yep. And Dreamy, mid lane.
Falling once again. Oh boy. He's gonna need the Viper Strike and certainly end up falling. Okay. Well, that just happened.
Okay. Madara.
Okay, there seems to be a bit of a problem on our end, folks. Vivek's just gonna quickly reconnect, and
I'm okay actually. I think I've got it sorted.
Okay, cool.
Guys, if you don't understand, it's just generally that Dota TV is a bit of an issue, and spectating is bugged out in the game. It's one of the many obstacles you face when you try a hand at casting, but you got it sorted. Production's on top of it, we're on top of it, but down bottom, Madara barely survives.
Sick Phantom Strike dodge there.
They might find the Rubik here. Rubik isolated, Leshrac trying to buy time. Kalnayak looking to run, another dagger slowing him down. He's gonna end up falling. Silencer racking up the end, but 369 looking for the wraparound. Doesn't even need to come into position as Madara has the damage.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they didn't instantly disengage. I think the right course of action as
but look at this Dreamy. Trying to go for the Invis rune, ends up finding it. But there's a sentry, Kalnayak with detection. As and when needed, finds the Queen of Pain, finds a D-ward as well.
Oh yeah. That was quite surprising. I certainly didn't expect Kalnayak to have a sentry there. I mean, there's no inherent reason for him to, apart from D-warding, of course. And that sentry secured him a kill. Dreamy is now 2-4-0 on his Queen of Pain. Laning phase against the Viper is not the best for a Queen of Pain, but she does manage to catch up in terms of ganks and rotations when enemy team does start diving.
Okay, so this is the change in AD's lineup. It was Kalnayak who was playing the off lane in the past. I think they switched things up. Either way, at mid, Smoke with the Barrel Strike. He's got the Omni Knight. I think he will be able to get the Purification off. And Axel, he's healthy for the time being, but they have caught out the Silencer. August, slowed down by the Viper Strike, might end up falling. The Guardian Angel is there, but there's so much magical damage on the side of ADE that they just don't give a damn.
Yeah, the change to Viper Strike and the change to Nether Toxin and Poison Attack.
Smoke, he could have got out 369, was caught napping, misses on the Barrel Strike, but there's the mystery player with the Chronosphere. Smoke has the power on cooldown for a bunch of seconds. It's not even needed. Dreamy gets caught in the Chronosphere. I think the time dilation made sure that he wouldn't get the blink off. Not really sure. His blink was on cooldown. I think he blinked towards his own shrine, and now AD just controlling the jungle, controlling the map, dictating the pace of the game as Akatsuki with a 5,000 net worth disadvantage or having that tier 2 task pushed in.
Oh yeah. This is something that Akatsuki didn't account for by any means. The Viper pick in the last definitely threw a curveball. I think they expected Queen of Pain to have a much easier time, and as a result, they thought they would come out on top, but now they're in an awkward
Smoke,
position.
369, not really sure what he's doing down there. The Sonic Wave along with the Global Silence, they'll find the Leshrac. They're trying to bring down Rival. They've got the Crush, they've got the Corrosive Haze. Actually, they didn't toss it out on the Viper, and 369, he's going to end up falling. The Viper Strike, netting the Viper 1 kill, but he does end up falling in Akatsuki. They did end up finding 2 cores. I think it's safe to say at this point that Leshrac is the core here and not the Sand King.
Oh yeah. Leshrac is definitely the core. Smoke, I don't think he ever intended to be the core.
Yep.
Leshrac was the one who was getting more XP and taking all the kills. Smoke is not doing too bad for himself either though, because he's helped his team out a lot early with his rotations, died a few times, but he did secure a kill each time he died.
Yeah, I think 4 position Sand King, 12 minutes in, level 7. It's looking good. He's got the maxed out burrow, he's got the epicenter as well. And Akatsuki, they're doing something that might actually grossly misfire.
Wait, what?
But yeah, Axel just drops the repel and TP's out.
August?
But August? What the? I don't even know what to say about that. When you got an Omni Knight running in, just to soak up all the stuns, why the hell did the Silencer not get himself out of there?
I have no clue. I think this was probably miscommunication.
Yeah.
Or I think some things are just better left unsaid, like you mentioned.
And look at this, Madara. He's struggling to find space to farm. Smoke luckily whips on the Burrow Strike. Madara's gonna be okay. Madara does end up dropping one quick dagger.
Yep. Good thing is Smoke has Tranquil, so he's gonna regen back up.
Yeah. Madara's also... I mean, he's trying to build into an extremely ambitious item here. Which is the Battle Fury.
Well, I think it's the right item, right? Because at this point, you haven't got the start you want. So you probably want to recover and look to hit that mid-game timing. Where Slada's gonna have his blink and you're gonna be able to take fights.
You know, I've had this... okay. I've had this conversation multiple times. And you spoke of the Slaughter. He's gonna end up falling. He does get the crush off, but the epicenter's there. The crush not coming in when needed, and 369, he's gonna end up falling, ends up giving away 171 gold. Down bottom, Zeus with the Yule Scepter, getting ambitious here, trying to bring down the Queen of Pain. Does have the damage with the Pulse Nova. Dreamy looks it on with that Sonic Wave, and Dreamy had the blink, but didn't blink away. What the hell is going on? While up top, they find the Omni Knight as well on the side of ATE.
Oh yeah. Kills all over the map for ATE Gaming. Looks like the last Viper pick really did sort of completely mess up the idea that Akatsuki wanted to follow. They didn't expect the bot lane to be so strong. They did think that the PA would have some free farm. And once PA would have had the Desolator and Slada would have had some levels in Blink, this Viper would be melting. This Viper would be a non-factor in this game. But because the Viper had such a good start, A, because he was against the Queen of Pain, B, because he's a bloody Viper, I think that's really what ended up costing Akatsuki.
Void. He does walk in with that Shadow Blade. Global Silence being committed. Axel does have the Purification. They want the Void, but he could turn. He doesn't have the Chrono Space. Gonna time walk out of there. Quick Telekinesis. Connect with the Stolen Crush. Buying time. Steals the Purification, but will not be able to get it off as the crit comes through. Viper held in place with the Crush is next. The Corrosive Haze does kind of do a number on his armor. They will be able to bring down the Viper, but the Void does manage to get away. And it does cost Akatsuki the Slada.
Yeah, it also costed them the tier 1 tower bot, which was taken by Leshrac.
Yeah.
This Leshrac is starting to snowball quite scarily. He solo killed the Queen of Pain, has the use completed for a while, and he's sitting on 1.8k gold. I think the next item of choice for this Leshrac should probably be a Shiva's Guard, or perhaps something like the Lotus Orb, but he's queuing up the A on disc.
I like it.
Okay, never mind. He changed again. He changed to Bloodstone.
I
dislike.
I like the A on this.
I like the A on this.
Mid lane, Dreamy might end up falling. The Telekinesis is there. Stolen Scream. Not doing enough. Zeus coming in, looking for the split Earth.
Could have used him actually.
Up top. Omni Knight, he's got the Guardian Angel, but he doesn't want to end up popping it. He's going to end up falling. Akatsuki. I think there is a chronic issue with Akatsuki, and that is that they lose their lanes badly. But at least in the past, I've noticed that they don't give away unnecessary kills. This time around, that Omni Knight dying up top was absolutely unnecessary, and it could have been avoided. There was no reason for him to go pushing out all by himself, and he ends up falling. Dreamy, I don't know. I think I have mixed feelings. I really like Akatsuki, but they're so inconsistent at times, and
yeah, that sort of really hurts to watch them, because last Premiership as well, they were certainly doing very well, and they were one of the few teams that actually managed to give Signify a bit of a run for their money.
Yeah,
but
They've gone in with the Burrow, the epicenter won't come through. The global signs, buying time for Madara with the screen. They'll find the Sand King. ADE looking to disengage, but Axel in no man's land doesn't have the repel, gets control, might end up falling, does have the Guardian Angel, but the magic damage from the Leshrac doing a fair amount of work with that Lightning Storm. They will find the kill. Khalnayak, well, he's okay for the time being in Madara with that Yule Scepter. Controlled by the split out, will end up falling. It's a double kill for Khalnayak, and August is being chased. Rival just running down the silencer. The damage over time will be enough. Dreamy walks in, blinks out, and Akatsuki, they buy back on their Phantom Assassin.
Oh god.
They've got the blink on 369, but they don't have any real catch, and the Phantom Assassin ends up buying back for nothing.
Yeah, that certainly didn't go the way they were expecting it to for the side of Akatsuki.
Yeah.
And now this might be even more trouble because, well, it has a Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
He might find another kill.
He doesn't have the Chronosphere, but he...
Oh yeah. Let's talk a bit about Akatsuki, right? So in the previous Masters League, Akatsuki was having a better run than most of the teams. Like I said earlier, they were the only few teams that managed to give Signify a bit of a run for their money.
Yeah, but Akatsuki started out really rough. They started out not looking that good, but they became good over time.
Oh yeah.
And it feels like all that effort has gone down the drain.
Indeed.
Smoke just sitting on the high ground dispels the Smoker DC coming out from Akatsuki. 369 is Blink Dagger on cooldown for a bit. Might look to catch them. Yeah. Akatsuki popping a Smoker DC. Just hoping to get in position to defend this tier 2 tower down bottom. And they aren't going to be able to do so. I mean, they're going to try. Dreamy is pulling the creep wave.
I like how Smoke is doing justice to his name, constantly dispelling smokes on the side of Akatsuki and making sure they get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Also, talking about Akatsuki, it seems like in this Masters League and in this phase in particular, they seem to only have one idea, and that is snowball out in the early game, look to have a really strong mid game and close it out. But time and again, we have seen that they fall into these traps where the lanes don't go as well as they think they will. And as a result, they end up going into damage control mode and just start playing a lot safer when their lineup is not really meant to be the ones on the back foot. I mean, they can certainly come back from this, but 13k net worth lead, 20 minutes in for ATE. If there is one way Akatsuki can come back into this game, I think it's going to be on the back of a Roshan contest. And they do have the tools to contest it. You have the blink on Sladar.
They might lose Dreamy up top. Smoke is there. The split earth setting up for the Burrow Strike. The Pulse Nova doing a fair amount of work. Dreamy's gonna get away with 369. Just stopping a bit too much damage from the Leshrac. Does end up falling. Kalak even chipping in with that Fade Bolt.
He blinked in at the worst possible moment. He blinked in just as the Sand King got his Burrow Strike off, and as a result, he ended up falling.
Yeah.
Certainly helps that Burrow Strike is an instant cast spell. With what I mean when I say that is that it has no cast point, that is, it does not have a delay before the spell is used.
Yeah.
While Sada's spell does so. Well, they are going to move into Roshan and Akatsuki. I think this is the best chance of coming back into this game. They should know this is happening.
I don't think they know, and even if they know, they aren't moving quick enough.
Yeah,
it's too late right now.
Well, Axel is certainly not there, and boy, he's gonna pick up the Aegis.
I mean, I don't think all hope is gone yet for Akatsuki, right? They've got the Vanguard on the Phantom Assassin along with the Nyasha, so she can somewhat survive in these fights and just hope that sometime in the course of a really drawn-out team fight, the RNG will start to kick in. Axel has a hood, which Akatsuki badly need versus all the magical damage coming out from ATE. Not sure the Vanguard was the right choice though. I think the only source of physical damage is the Void, right?
Yeah, I think a BKB early on would have suited much better.
Akatsuki, hold on, they've smoked up.
Oh yeah,
they see Rival. They're gonna go in. The Crushes there. Dreamy with the Whale. They're trying to burst down the Quap and they'll do it. Global Silence committed. Akatsuki get a pick off, and this was crucial. 44 seconds without the Viper. ATE have to wait a bit, wait for the Viper to respawn, rejoin them. If I was Akatsuki, I don't know if you can try and force another fight. It's actually risky.
No, I don't think you should try to force a fight. With the skill you just got, you should secure more map control, push these lanes out, split push a little, try to force out some TPs. But you know what's not helping Akatsuki right now? The fact that they haven't taken a single tier 1 tower except for the bottom lane. And the bottom lane is completely pushed in, so there's no chance that they actually move around the map and try to do something. They do have Omni Knight ulti though, so that should help them inside the Chronosphere. But that's also a big if. Axel is in the mid lane and he's trying to take this tier 1 tower down. Well, looks like for now, AT are gonna take a break, wait for the Viper to reach the bottom lane.
I think Akatsuki, they've got to recognize the fact that Viper's at main. He did commit his TP to move mid. They're gonna try and probably move bottom and try and bring down the Void. 369, he'll do just that. Goes in with the crush, controls the Void. Repel. Stolen by Kalnak, thrown out on the Void, and there's the epicenter. Not really connecting on anyone. The Chronosphere, nice to look at, doing a fair amount of work on the Omni Knight. Axel looking for that Guardian Angel, will not get it off. Barrow Strike controlling the Phantom Assassin. Nether Toxin not even being thrown out. Buybacks coming out from Akatsuki as the Guardian Angel buys them time. Mystery Player being controlled by the Split Earth, keeping that Omni Knight in position while Sand King being chased, gets the stolen Guardian Angel from Kalnax Rubik, and with the Nether Toxin and all that magic damage from Rival, they might be able to bring down Axel, who's still tanky and still alive, but the tier 3 tower has fallen. Kalnak doing some real work there, stealing both Repel and the GA. 369 goes in, drops the crush, stolen by Kalnak. There's the crits coming in, they want to bring down Zeus, but PA, controlled by the Barrel Strike, held in place with the Splitter, might end up falling. That's Repel. Not really doing too much, and there's Rival. Chasing for more, they want that Barrel Strike, but they've got the stolen crush from Kalnayak. They'll bring down the Silencer. And ATE, they force buybacks. There was a dieback on the Slada, and Axel, he might fall as well.
As much as I want to give Akatsuki some credit that there could be a possibility that they're holding, I just don't see it. Chances are looking extremely bleak. Void still has the Aegis, has a Lincoln Sphere as well at this point, so it's a bit harder to initiate onto him. While I don't agree with the Lincoln Sphere pick, it does add to its survivability a bit more and sort of helps him avoid
I think
daggers that Phantom Assassin throws out.
Yeah, I don't know. The Lincoln Sphere pickup somewhat questionable. Just adds that extra layer of survivability. But what I want to see Akatsuki do is Chronosphere's on cooldown, Epicenter's on cooldown. You got the Sonic Wave, you got the Slaughter, you got the Silencer. You want to go pick a fight now.
Yeah, indeed. Well, for now it looks
I
like...
think this is the best scenario for them to pick a fight. You're either hoping for two things, right? You pick a fight now, and you win it, and you hold on, and you buy time, and you push out the lanes and force rotations and probably take those tier 1s down. Or you're hoping that ATE comes marching up your high ground and they goof up. Right now, Akatsuki are relying on ATE to make a mistake, and that seems really unlikely.
As much as I'd like to say that there's a chance that Akatsuki can come back in this game, the problem is that even if they do manage to find a good fight and fight multiple heroes out of position, the side of ATE is just so damn farm. This Void can easily take out 2 heroes by himself if he gets a decent Chronosphere off. That is, he catches the Omni Knight in it and probably another person like the Silencer or the Slugger or the Queen of Pain.
Now the Chronospheres come back off cooldown. Mystery Player going in, catches the Omni Knight. Axel, the medic, control. Good global silence. He got the Sonic Wave clipping a bunch, but AT don't seem to be too bothered. Mystery Player doing work will bring down the Omni Knight, but there is control coming through, and it's controlled from smoke. The Epicenter, the Barrel Strike clips too, and Akatsuki, they've already tapped out.
GG, well played. Akatsuki, they give it a valiant effort, but AT are just better today. I think they had a lot better lanes, and this is something that Akatsuki never sort of accounted for, and as a result they ended up losing their lanes and losing the game.
Yeah, Akatsuki, I mean, I think they really have to find a way to ensure that they stay in the Masters League. They've had way too many losses in I don't know. I hope we see that Akatsuki which we saw last year in the ESL India Premiership. But folks, that's it as far as today's Dota 2 broadcast is concerned. My name is Vivek. With me was Floki. You can find us on our social media at facebook.com/VivekCasting or facebook.com/FlokiDota. I'm going to throw it over to Angela and a man that looks like Adi if he kept up with his New Year resolutions. Just waiting to hear what you guys feel about this game.
AT Gaming securing the second victory for their squad today. They should be sleeping very happy tonight because their both CS and Dota 2 squads have taken victories for themselves and they also move higher on that board. Gotham, what are your thoughts about that game?
Well, my thoughts right now are the fact that, you know, my prediction, just like my MMR, didn't do so well. And I was hoping Akatsuki will come out of it strong. But I did mention, to kind of save my own back when we started, was the fact that if Viper plays well, they'll have no problem. But as a whole, ATE team did well all around. They Akatsuki lost all the lanes they were in, and it was just a bad day for them today. And I'm sure you have more to talk about when we talk about Akatsuki today. So why don't you take that?
I mean, ATA Gaming, of course, brilliant players out there, played beautifully well, and special shout out to that Rubik. I mean, he was playing very well. He kind of stole the Guardian Angel and the Repel at the most needed time for his team, which I kind of didn't expect him. I thought he'll steal something else, but a good call there by the Rubik. Now, talking about Akatsuki in general, I mean, from the beginning of the game, their warding was not on point. Their Queen of Pain originally was struggling at the mid lane. There was no real backup coming for her.
They really needed someone to come to mid to help up QOP. But keep in mind, we had PA, who was bot, was losing her supports. And she was facing two players. She was facing Sand King. She was facing the Lashrak there. And the moment the two supports used to roll down to mid, she would be in a lot of trouble. And she's losing her life there. And it was just a hectic game for a support also, because not your carry needs space, and then your mid needs space, and then how do you save both of them at the same time?
No, but that's a choice Akatsuki made when they took supports like the Sladar and the Silencer. First of all, the Silencer is never supposed to rotate. He is just supposed to be sitting there with that PA and trying to get a level 6, get that global online, be more useful. Meanwhile, even the Sladar, see, he's not really supposed to be a 4th role. He's actually an offlaner. He needs that Blink Dagger to be more prominent.
He needs the money to be
And as far, I think Akatsuki is just a little bit, I mean, they're just struggling because basically their 4th and their 5th player have been changed, and because of that, they are just trying out new players. They're trying to figure out. So when you talk about supports, people think that supports really don't have that much to do. They have a lot to do, because from the beginning of the game, it's a support that gives you vision. It's a support that ganks for you. It's a support that TP every time you whine at the mid lane that, you know, you need a gank. And if they are not there, how do the 3 other cores make their way to mid game? And basically, I think at 17 minutes, that was the final blow that Akatsuki got. The momentum completely dropped. Omni Knight was not even able to survive to keep the PA alive, and the Omni Knight was specially picked up just so that he can repel the PA, so she doesn't need to go ahead and buy a BKB. But it reached a point where, you know, even we all were discussing inside, is that PA really needs a BKB, and that was not needed, but it became an option because her support wasn't able to stay there. Even in the top lane, we saw that the Void first jumped in and killed the Omni Knight. Now he should have made sure that he was very far away. He shouldn't be in the front lines, but who else would be in front lines?
And we also saw a lot of misplays actually happening. We saw a lot of players getting caught off guard. You saw Omni getting caught up top for no reason. We saw a Silencer dying in mid when Omni was kind of doing Juggernaut things where he puts Repel on himself and TP out, and for some reason Silencer thought maybe my Omni was in trouble. He kind of went in, and the moment Omni TP'd out, and guess what, they killed the Silencer there.
A lot of miscommunication. A little saddened to see Akatsuki perform. I mean, the past 2-3 games that I've seen them play, like their gameplay has kind of just fallen from the at the par that I used to see them at. So for me, on a general basis, that seeing a team so good suddenly have to face such defeats where, you know, they're not even getting to prove themselves is very difficult to see, because they are a constant team in the ESL and the Premiership.
It's Akatsuki we're talking about, by the way. It's a team that's been doing really well. They've been a lighthouse for Dota 2 teams in Nepal, and to see them now being out of form, for example, like the thing is, it's the team chemistry changes when 2 of your players are changed. So I think they need to kind of get their chemistry back together and play as a team. We know individually these guys are great players, but as a team, Dota is a team game at the end of the day. And
it's 5 people in one brain.
If they can get that communication, the chemistry between them back to what it was last year, I think they are a force to be reckoned with right now. And we're not seeing that now, by the way. And you know, just to look back, last year these guys were like number 2, number 3 when on LAN events also. And I'm not even talking about, you know, online. At LAN events, Akatsuki had great performances. They faced off against the best in India. And same thing with I'm going off track, but Council, they also had great performances, but right now I don't know how well they're doing.
I mean, Council is doing fine, but I think, you know, when you give them a long break in between, it kind of takes some time for most of the teams to get back on track. And Akatsuki, I hope you guys get back on track, because you have given us some wonderful Dota.
Yeah.
I think with that, we come to an end to today's Dota 2 game. Also, we come to an end to the day. If you guys have missed out any games, want to check it out, you can check it out on our ESL India YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to us to get a notification when we come live to you every single day of the week with all the amazing games from the ESL India Premiership. Thank you so much, Gautam, for joining me today. Yes. I hope you keep coming back to the studio and keep analyzing more fun games. I love co-hosting with you, by the way.
All right. Thank you so much, by the way. It was a lot of fun doing the analysis today, and I'm sure a lot of people hopefully had good things to say. So yes. I think that's it from us. So we should do the goodbye move now.
Goodbye, guys. Take care. And this event is brought to you by HP, HyperX, and Intel, and organized by Northern Gaming. We will see you all tomorrow.
guy's out.
That was beast. Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.